Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Oh, happy Monday. Thank you, thank you. Yes, everybody tap the screen, send your daily heart me, send it out to all your little friends. We're gonna get started. I don't even know what we're gonna listen to today. What you guys think? What's been going on? Anything good? Thank you. All right, so I do want to let some people get in here today before I really start talking about kind of what I want to talk about. It looks like Bob went live this morning at 8:30, so I'm gonna start there. It's only a 20-minute live. And then it looks like Snark went live at 9 a.m. Eastern, of course. Oh my goodness! Stop it. That was so cute. Thank you. I love the cute little gifts. They're so cute. All right, so let's start with Bob. I wasn't even awake this early. I came into work late, so this weekend was such a good weekend. We before I get started, obviously Friday, you guys know we went out. Saturday I did go live for a little bit. Yesterday, we took the kids to the pool and we brought a picnic and had food and stuff, and then it started to storm. It was getting ready to. It didn't start while we were out there, but hey guys, welcome in. It was getting ready to storm, so we left the pool around 4 o'clock and then went home, and then my husband made chicken Alfredo with chicken cutlets. It was so good. So we had a really good Sunday together. So I wasn't on TikTok too much during the day. I did catch a couple things in the evening, and obviously I was there for Smashes. Most of Smashes. I did fall asleep at some point. But yes, it was a good day yesterday. I hope everyone else had a good weekend. All right, I'm gonna hit play on Bob. Oh my goodness.
Hello? Okay. All right, I'm going to mute now so you can do your thing. I'm going to figure out, first of all, how do I turn off my... You would think I've done this enough times. Hard to keep up. I just can't figure out how to turn off my camera. This is aggravating. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. This is a quick live, not a 2-hour live. Okay. Mallory, I was not going to respond, but some of the language you used in your live was so fucking harmful that I could not hold in this conversation. Last night you messaged me and then you blocked me, which, fair enough. You also asked me to stay out of your spaces as well as make...
Mind you, To send a long, lengthy message and push block is typical Mallory behavior. She's done it to me multiple times. So, typical.
Comments in your live about how, like, I just don't want her in my space. Bitch, I've never wanted to be in your space. You don't see me in your lives. The one time I was in your live was because somebody made a comment about me in your live. Okay? That's number one. Never wanted to be in your area. Okay? I'm very well aware of when somebody doesn't vibe, like their vibe isn't my vibe. And I can separate myself from said person without having any malice or hate or, beef with them. That's just off the bat. I need you to know that. Number two, at one point, first of all, to say that I did not have this conversation with you consensually, your language is so fucking harmful. Second of all, you are a grown woman, one who has plenty of opinions that you have no problem putting out there at a drop of a hat when it's convenient for you. So for somebody who has so many opinions and has the ability to verbalize said opinions, had you not wanted to have a conversation with me, a simple drop of the box or, hey, Bob, I don't want to have this conversation with you right now. Would you mind messaging me on the back end? Would have sufficed. I would have 100% respected those boundaries. But no, you continued said conversation with me, socially making that a consensual conversation between two people, and then dropped out of the box when your point was being mute because what I said did not register to you. My next point to argue is at one point you were verbalizing why people have these conversations. And one of your examples was a humiliation kink.
Whoa.
Now, I don't know
didn't hear that.
if you were speaking about me, but I want to make something abundantly fucking clear. If I wanted to humiliate you, bitch, I could have done so in 0.5 seconds before you could even drop from that fucking box. If that was my goal, it would have been done. But I don't like to humiliate people. Matter of fact, there are people who continuously fucked me over on this app, and it took a long time for me to get to the point where I let that side of me out. So if what you saw last night is perceived as me purposely calling you out, quote unquote, to humiliate you, you're not only sadly mistaken, but completely loud and wrong.
I don't make a lot of comments, but I will say this. As somebody that's known Bob for almost going on 2 years, if you would have communicated with her in a healthy way, in an adult way, that would have gone a lot differently. Your overreaction is very telling. That's all I'm going to say.
Ain't that the fucking truth? That shit was insane. 2 hours, Mallory, over a 5-minute conversation. And there was no history between you and I other than the night that I tried to get a box and you told me no. And it's weird. You say you didn't know who I was. I have been the
clock in, Bob, because everything you're saying is everything I was thinking last night. Like, excuse me, sir. That was unnecessary. The harmful verbiage that was being used last night in context to this conversation was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
biggest box hoe lately. And you watch everything. You've watched all the Smash's lives. You watched Amanda's lives. You've watched Queen Witch's lives. We are in enough spaces together that you knew who the fuck I was because you know everything else. So please don't tell me you didn't know who I was to not let me in the box. Call it what it is. You didn't want me up in that motherfucking box because you didn't know what the fuck I was going to say. And you didn't know if you were going to be able to combat it or not. And you know what? I have a lot of friends with ADHD, and horribly of you to assume that of my mental stability.
Right.
Horrible of you to assume. And everybody acts differently when they have different disorders or, diagnoses or whatever the case may be.
Right. I got to print
and while I
stuff,
can
guys.
agree
Sorry.
to how you explained ADHD last night, I can agree that those are absolutely attributes. I can't agree that you have not been able to process conversations and you need a heads up and I need to learn how to communicate with you better. When I've watched you call people into boxes before, you do not get to stand on you can't do X, Y, and Z while actively doing X, Y, and Z. And that was the whole point. You 100%. Missed the whole fucking point. It hit you right in the forehead and you still fucking missed it. It's convenient for you to say that. But again, instead of taking my words and self-reflecting on them, or even giving me enough respect to allowing me to finish the thoughts of what I was trying to say to you, coming from a place of no back history, no big beefs, no issues. I don't even comment on you. Well, I did it prior to. Wouldn't even comment on you when people would talk about you. I would always say, I don't know you like that. But I had watched you enough to know I didn't like you at all. And what I thought was maybe I misperceived you because of the way this app works. But the experience I had in the 5-minute conversation showed me that other people's experiences are probably fucking valid. Probably very fucking valid.
Period.
And in one note, you're saying, Bob was, whether she meant to be rude or not, she was rude and she this and she that. In the same breath, you were like, Bob did nothing wrong. It was probably just me. But then like 2 seconds later, you're like, no, but Bob was wrong. I don't know how to feel. I'm confused. I am so confused. You had a lot of expectations from me.
Bro, the way that Mallory was like, somebody must have came in there in the comments and said, you know, like, Bob isn't rude to anyone or something like that, made a comment. And the way she was like, no, she was rude. She didn't even ask me if I wanted to have a conversation. She asked Amanda. And, like, first of all, if you were in there for any amount of time, Amanda was saying, like, this is a space where you can come have rational conversations and not be heated. Listen, I have never seen Bob be rude to anyone that it wasn't warranted. And even then, it wasn't even being rude. It was just telling the truth, right? Some people can't handle that. But, like, Bob's one of the most level-headed people on this app. And for people to not, like, for Mallory to not be able to handle any sort of criticism while giving all the criticism to everybody else is just crazy to me.
Did. Or at least you are trying to a lot of expectations from me. Expect dirty when you're up on a live platform on a daily basis, streaming other people and tearing them apart, and then turning around and saying people cannot do the same to you is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right. It's selective. It's selective. Hasta la vista. Fucking love your name. I say it every time. It's selective outrage. You have selective outrage.
So well.
But you know what? It is what it is. I saw all I needed to see. 2 hours is a ridiculously long live to do off a 5-minute conversation. I think we could all agree on that. And good morning to everybody in the comments. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at this. I have this wild ability to be able to not stare at the comments while I'm speaking. Mallory, that shit was wild last night. That shit was crazy. And like, I wasn't even going to say anything. I was going to leave it at my post that like, hey, like, don't do that. Do you, Mallory? But the harmful language you used toward me in your live, based off of a 5-minute conversation, the hypotheses that you had made, the assumptions that you had made, the things that you said about me, but didn't actually say about me, but were perceived to be said about me because you used my name in the same exact conversations as the harmful things you were saying. That was ridiculous. And if you have the ability to call out other people's behaviors, if you have the ability to analyze everybody's words, break them down, tell them what they thought you thought they meant or what you didn't think they meant, then you have the ability to look at what you did last night and realize it was completely fucking wrong. You threw a motherfucking tantrum. That's what you did. That was some child-ass-like behavior. Child-ass-like behavior. Good morning, Holly Mae. You are way too grown to be acting like that. And for somebody who doesn't like the way they're treated, or someone who doesn't like the fact that they're not forgiven, or they're not giving any grace that you feel that you should be receiving, you sure go about it a weird way. So, the humiliation kink comment really pissed me the fuck off.
That was wild. Truly.
Because anybody who knows me knows that I can pop off at the mouth in 0.5 seconds, and before you even get to hit that fucking drop button, my mouth has popped off enough to humiliate somebody, but I don't do that to people. And if I do, and I have in the past, it's because I was pushed and pushed and pushed to the point. I always try to give grace. I always try to be understanding. I always try to see all sides. I also try to be fair. But what the fuck you're not going to do is put a fucking light over me that doesn't exist. You're not going to take it off yourself and shine it on me because you can't fucking look in the mirror without feeling some type of way about yourself. And you can't handle those emotions that you feel about yourself. So you have to fucking gaslight and you have to fucking deflect and you have to put that fucking coat on someone else because God forbid you ever take accountability for your own actions. That might just be too much. But you expect me to change my vocabulary, my approach, the way I am as a human.
This is on Sneaky TT Streams. It's only 20 minutes, so it's a quick listen.
Being the way I've always been as a human being to cater to you, suck my fucking ass. How about that? How about that? Because I don't owe you shit. And you didn't owe me shit yesterday, and you could have dropped out that motherfucking box as quick as I jumped up in it. She knew exactly who I was. I've been in enough lives at this point. I've spoken my piece and my feelings in enough places at this point. She knew exactly who I was. And I even tried to give that one to her. I even tried to be like, you know what? Fair enough. Whatever. That's fine.
Part, Virgil.
You got problems, girl, because you are the fucking problem. That's it, period. This is a problem. You can't act like this toward people. I did not deserve that shit last night. And if you seriously in your heart believe that I did deserve that, then when it comes back at you, you don't get to say shit about it. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay? Stop making blanket statements over people who are trying to make things better while you sit back in your chair with your fucking blanket and stream people and put your opinions all out there that nobody has to hear. Stop comparing every situation that happens now to your situations because you feel that you didn't get away scot-free with the way you've made others feel. That's not how it works. You don't get to
Mallory's
do that.
live? I could probably get the link and send it to you.
And listen, if anybody wants to come to me and
people don't post Mallory's lives because she copyrights, so they have to be put on private. But I'll try to see if I can get it for you.
I mean, hey, I don't like this, that, and the third. You are more than fucking welcome to. I invite it. I invite somebody coming to me and tell me how they feel. Because truthfully, at the end of the day, I can't be a better person if people don't let me see the things about myself I don't see. But if your goal is to be happy in where you are right now, good for you. I'm happy for that. Everybody should be good with who they are. But that doesn't mean everybody's got to be good with you if that's where you want to stay.
Hey, Bree.
Monday.
Perfect, Jenra. Thank you.
And you're not guys speaking like what's about it now because I have a lot of opinions in my life. I would call you right now, baby. But you know what? I decided this morning to come on here, make this statement, you could leave me alone. Because
this is Bob, Roberta the Builder, from this morning. Her and Mallory kind of had a little argument, I would say. Mallory went live last night saying some crazy stuff about Bob, and this is Bob's response to it.
It's
almost over.
But you're not going to sit there and write me a long ass winded message and then block me. Go live for 2 hours and speak about me and then make a video of me. You're not going to do that, and I'm just going to sit and
she made a video too?
You're expecting people to tolerate a very privileged mind of you.
I don't know if you're on a spot or whatever, but you're breaking up. I just thought you should know.
Oh, damn.
She said, oh, damn.
On that note, I probably should just leave it where it is before my mouth gets extremely disrespectful. And currently, the way I'm feeling right now is very annoyed and disrespected. Unrightfully so. I'm sorry if you took what I said the other day.
Oh, sorry.
You're right. I'm going to police my own emotions.
I was going to say, and Bob's going to police her own emotions and, regulate herself. Something you should learn how to do.
I'm going to beg you right now, girl, leave me alone. Try to do something that would benefit everybody in the end, in the sense of getting you peace and everybody else closure. But you don't want that. You don't want that. And if you did want that, you would analyze what I said and try to sit with it and then maybe came to me differently. So this could have been resolved instead of going live for 2 hours talking shit. And you couldn't even make up your mind on how about me. I was on a roller coaster last night. We were up and we were down. It was my fault. It wasn't my fault. It was your fault. It was my tone. Bitch, pick a lane and stay in it because I don't do this mind game bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm not part of this shit. But Monday, I'll sit around. Drink your motherfucking water. I'm drinking Celsius right now. Drink Celsius if you want. Thank you, Ange. Celsius if you want.
Okay, so that's the end of that. And then here is the video that was made.
Excuse me, ma'am. We don't pay a good subscription fee to hear your 1910 printer running.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right. So. Oh, Lord. That's a little excessive, Mallory.
Don't worry, Bree. I got it for you. We all were thinking it. About your printer. That's right.
Hey, listen. You guys want me here?
Or yes, of course we do. Listen, we're just kidding. Calm down, calm down.
I think it's almost done. Okay, so that was Bob's from this morning. Yeah, that was just absolutely crazy. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Okay. Oh, she has such a punchable face, I'm telling you. Okay, so oh, absolutely, Bear. I know, I texted her this morning, but she must still be snoozing. Let's see. All right, I guess snark from this morning.
I took the good times. Take the bad times. I take you just the way you are. Don't go try.
Is this Snarks live?
It is.
I think now I could be wrong. I only caught it a little bit, but I think it's mostly about the UFC 250 celebration.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to listen to that. All right. Well, the other option is. Here's the thing. Smash played all this last night. She played Amanda K's.
But maybe some people were sleeping and they didn't, because some people aren't up at whatever time it is. I don't know.
Sure. Does anybody have the timestamp from when the Bob and Mallory stuff happened? Because Amanda K's live is 5 hours long.
See, all the people are saying they were sleeping. Real people were sleeping.
Okay.
Just you gremlins up at like 2 in the morning.
I did, NJ. I hope you had a good weekend too.
Roberta said she'd go look.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
She called you a hoe as well. She said, "Ho, let me check."
Okay, I mean, it
No,
checks
I'm
out.
just kidding. I think she meant hold on.
I totally get it.
But I said, "Ho," that was funny. Come on.
All right, we'll do a replay, no problem. If somebody wants to go ahead and send me Mallory's too, just so I have it kind of lined up, I'd appreciate it. All right, so while we got 100 people in here, I think I'm just gonna go sit. Okay, perfect, Brooke. Thank you. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and say what I have to. Well, Smash isn't in here. I gotta wait for Smash to get in here.
Outwardly, that's a very big trigger of depression.
That's one of the signs of a deep depression. And you can be in,
All right, we're at 126.
and you can be in a depression and not know it.
Mallory's in the box.
I mean, you get, hints of it here and there, but
Somebody
when you're
else,
so
I don't
rageful
know, I
like
don't
that,
recognize their picture.
That's a sign of depression.
And Bob's in the box. Now, mind you, before all of this, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but before all of this, Amanda was saying how, like, her, instead of people posting people's children and things like that, like, come to her platform and have a conversation. It doesn't have to be yelling and screaming, but we can have constructive conversations and, like, move forward instead of going and posting people's kids. So it was just said that, like, this is a space where Amanda is welcoming people to have conversation. And so this isn't, like, out of the blue that Bob would just come up and say this. Thank you, bro. Hey, Bob.
Hey, I just wanted to come up and preface real quick that while I was in the live with Amanda and we were speaking about, like, how we could get resolution and stuff, Mallory had made a comment in the chat saying basically that accountability doesn't work. And this was after I had just said, like, accountability goes a long way and everything. She said accountability doesn't work because then basically people, still run with it, pretty much in a nutshell. And I had said that's very harmful for you to say because that is a blanket statement. Now, if she had instead of saying it as a whole and said it didn't work for me, that would have been different.
Sure.
That would have changed everything. But I took exactly what she said as she said it. I take words with intention. If you say something, that's how I'm going to perceive it. So when I guess when I corrected her when I was in the box, that must have bothered her. And after I had dropped down, shortly after, she came up. So that's kind of like when I saw her up there, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go up there because if you remember in Smash's live, the night that she had said sorry to me, I had said that one of the biggest problems with Mallory is she uses a lot of her situations across the board. And it's just not like that. You can't do that. It's dangerous.
100%.
Because you're taking away from what people are trying to do because you weren't able to do it.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to,
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it too. I'm getting down now. Bye.
Hey, Bob.
Do you want me to get down too?
You can stay up here.
Real quick. Leslie says, is it okay for her to be here?
Leslie, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so, but I was sleeping for the first part of the ride. Who knows?
That's what happened to me yesterday. I was sleeping, listening to TikTok, and I heard my name, and I woke up like, what the fuck?
You're like, I'm awake, I'm present.
And the worst part was in my dream. I could hear the live, and
I don't think anyone apologized to Bob. Kate.
Heard my name in the dream, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get in the box. It was the weirdest experience ever. I was wondering if it would be okay if I aired out a grievance currently, if that's okay with you, Amanda, in your space.
Yes.
Mallory, thank you so much. Mallory, it really bothers me, and I don't think you understand why, but I do want to explain to you. It bothers me when you speak about certain things as a whole. Like, for example, just to give an example, like you just did with saying people taking accountability doesn't work. That is not true. That is not true. I can't tell you how many times I had issues with people that when they looked at me and said, I'm sorry, it changed everything for me. It may not work for you. And I think the reason it didn't work for you was because you can't just take accountability once, wipe your hands, and think that the people who you took accountability toward are supposed to automatically forgive you. It takes time. It takes change behavior.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Behaviors, and it takes effort.
I need my
And
mods
when people are bringing it up to you, and when people are
keep Mikey out of here. I don't care how many accounts he comes back in here on. I went ahead and blocked him. But this is not the space for Mikey anymore.
bringing it up to you, when you start to get defensive about it, that's what creates that ongoing animosity. Because if you take accountability and say you're sorry, you're always sorry. And that's where the disconnect is, where it's harmful to make, it really bothers me that you make blanket statements for the entirety of people for situations that pertain to yours, when there's still a little inner work that you need to do to make tools that you have work a little better.
I think you're making a generalized assumption about what I was saying, because what I was saying is that a lot of times when people take accountability on all sides, like Leslie's in the comments, Leslie has had things thrown in her.
Let me pause this for a second.
Everyone's asking, what did he do? I don't know if you want to say, but the people are asking.
So Mikey had some, I mean, y'all know the history with him and I, and then, like, Mikey's made it very clear that he doesn't like any of us, that he's just here to troll us, and that we're all racists and all these things. So if that's the case, I don't want you here in the first place. And then second off, he completely doxed and called someone in my chat's family member on live. And that's not the only person he's done this to, and I'm just over it. I'm just really over it. This is not the space for him. I'm done with the back and forth with, like, you want to be here and, like, be in the chat and make jokes and all these things, but then you go over to your live and tell everyone how much you hate us and how terrible of people that we are. So if that's the case, again, this just isn't the space for you. And I have to protect my people who come here and support me and care about me as a person. I have to protect those people and make this a space that they can exist, right? Because what do I look like letting him be here and then them leaving because they don't feel comfortable, but yet they come here to support me and show me love and whatever and just hang out? That's not, what does that say about me, right? That's not fair. So that's my take on it. Each person can, you know, kind of do as they see fit, but that's how I'm moving forward with it. Okay, I want to see something really quick.
You got Smashley talking to him.
Hey, hold on, 'cause I can't even see my profile picture.
Real quick, Leslie says, is it okay for her to be here?
Leslie,
Yeah. Okay, I thought so, but you know, I was sleeping for the first part of the live. Who knows?
That's what happened to me yesterday. I was sleeping, listening to TikTok, and I heard my name, and I woke up like, what the fuck?
You're like, I'm awake, I'm present.
And the worst part was, in my dream, I could hear the live, and I heard my name in the dream, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get in the box. It was the weirdest experience ever. I was wondering if it would be okay if I aired out a grievance currently, if that's okay with you, Amanda, in your space.
Yes.
Mallory, thank you so much. Mallory, it really bothers me, and I don't think you understand why, but I do want to explain to you. It bothers me when you speak about certain things as a whole.
Sorry, I'm pausing one more time. I don't expect everyone to agree with my decision or make the same decision. It's just the one that I've made. And I don't expect everyone in my chat to get along, be okay with each other. You know, I want people here who want to be here, who are looking for a space to listen to lives that maybe they missed or whatever. But if you're being nasty to me and my people, that's just a boundary I have to create. And that's just really all there is to it. So, like I said, if we could just, you know, keep this space, you know, I want people to be here who have different opinions as well. I'm okay with that. But it's gone beyond a different opinion when you're making phone calls, when you're asking people to send you my information. And I've sat on this and thought about it, and I've thought for probably too long. I should have done this sooner. Like, bro was literally trying to call CPS on me 2 weeks ago. So, what the fuck do I look like just letting him sit in here? That's crazy. That's right. Pasta, you're fine in here. That's it. Okay, here we go.
Like, for example, just to give an example, like you just did with saying people taking accountability doesn't work. That is not true. I can't tell you how many times I had issues with people that when they looked at me and said, I'm sorry, it changed everything for me. It may not work for you. And I think the reason it didn't work for you was because you can't just take accountability once, wipe your hands, and think that the people who you took accountability toward are supposed to automatically forgive you. It takes time, it takes change behaviors, and it takes effort. And when people are bringing it up to you, when you start to get defensive about it, that's what creates that ongoing animosity. Because if you take accountability and say you're sorry, you're always sorry. And that's where the disconnect is, where it's harmful to make. It really bothers me that you make blanket statements for the entirety of people for situations that pertain to yours, when there's still a little inner work that you need to do to make tools that you have work a little better.
I think you're making a generalized assumption about what I was saying, because what I was saying is that a lot of times when people take
So immediately, to me, right there, you heard nothing that Bob just said. Because you're saying, well, I think you're making a generalized statement about me, or a generalized assumption about me. No. She literally just repeated what you said. Immediately, no.
accountability on all sides, like Leslie's in the comments. Leslie has had things thrown in her face over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times you say you're sorry. At some point, you have to stop feeding it, because when you go into people's lives you don't even know and you get in a box, it's instantly in the comments 500 times. This person did this person did that, this person did this. And I've been guilty of it before. And irregardless of what you think, I have put in a lot of work to change and do better. But it is 100% something I've done in the past, and 100% something that still happens, where people will follow you around and make sure that everybody knows. And then you have to go through the process again of explaining and apologizing. And at some point, what happened to me 2 years ago, I still have people come to me and say, didn't you do this? Didn't you do that? Other people have it happen to them. And that's part of the problem that people need to address as well, too, is that at some point, people have to stop throwing things in your face and recognizing that you are putting in the work.
Nobody has to recognize that you're doing anything in all reality. Like, you're not putting in the work so other people acknowledge it, right? You're putting in the work to change and be a better person for yourself, not for all of TikTok.
Just so I don't lose my thought. One, can we acknowledge the fact that that was a generalized statement that you just made? Again. Two, I've made zero assumptions on the work that you've done, only what I've seen. And from what I have seen, I have watched you say in the same lives one thing while actively doing them. You will actively tell people, like, for example, you just said people need to stop bringing them up. And I agree, but us as adults, we know that we can't control other people. We can only control ourselves. So let's say that we had, you had a beef with somebody, and somebody who, I always say this, that they're always trying to stir things up in the comments. 9 times out of 10, you will never see them get a box. And if you do see them get a box, when they're stirring up the drama, they're not usually the ones to handle the aftermath. It's usually somebody else on somebody else's behalf. We as adults can only control what we do. And we learn that at a young age, because we know that our reaction is the only thing that we can be held responsible for. So when somebody brings up your past, the only thing you can say is, and if you've done it, and this isn't a particular situation, this is overall, is say, I said, I'm sorry. I took my accountability, and move forward. And that's all you can do. But you can't expect the same grace from others that you don't give to others, because then that's where the hypocrisy comes from. That's where.
First of all, she almost said hippopotamus. I heard it last night too. It made me giggle. But she's not wrong. Like, you call people out for doing the same thing that you do. A lot of times.
People stop hearing you, because while you're telling people in one breath one thing, I watch you 10 minutes later do the exact opposite, and that is harmful. If you want a message to be received from people, the messenger needs to be actively doing what they're. That's where, but you. This is overall. Is say, I said, I'm sorry. I took my accountability, and move forward. And that's all you can do. But you can't expect the same grace for, sorry, I took my accountability, and moved. Learn that at a young age, because we know that our reaction is the only thing that we can be held responsible for. So when somebody brings up your past, the only thing you can say is, and if you've done it, and this isn't a particular situation, this is overall, is say, I said, I'm sorry. I took my accountability, and move forward. And that's all you can do. But you can't expect the same grace from others that you don't give to others, because then that's where the hypocrisy comes from. That's where people stop hearing you, because while you're telling people in one breath one thing, I watch you 10 minutes later do the exact opposite, and that is harmful. If you want a message to be received from people, the messenger needs to be actively doing what they're putting out.
Give me an example.
So you say all these things about people shouldn't bring up this and shouldn't bring up that. I've watched you in the past week stream Smash and bring up things Smash has done that she did own. She said, yeah, I did that. And you've been...
Here's the thing. I think I think that you I think you could have chose anybody else to give an example to. Like if you would have said, how about Virgo, or how about maybe not Malibu, anybody else except for Smash, she might have taken in some of that information that you were trying to give her. But because the example was Smash, she can't hear it. Not at all.
Bringing those things up, and you've done that a number of times.
We've been talking about Smash with the pedophile, yeah. She hasn't been doing
it. Wasn't just that.
Make sure you guys are tapping that screen,
wasn't
please.
Just that.
I have not brought anything up past the last few months with Smashley.
That's a lie.
Aside from the fact that she's never apologized for sitting on lives and telling people that my essay wasn't real.
Mallory, I have
has
seen you
never
go
taken
on
accountability for the things that she has done to people. She has hurt a lot of people, and we are allowed to feel that.
You have too. You
and
have
I've
too, and
taken
they're allowed to feel that way
accountability
as well.
I have.
You don't get to say that you have taken accountability. Because when people have tried to tell you how you've made them feel, when you do talk about things, trigger warning, I'm giving you a second just in case. When you do talk about some of these details of SA that have been discussed online and the way that you talk about it, some people have tried to tell you, Mallory, how that has made them feel. And you basically said that you don't care. You're going to continue to talk about it because people need to know. That's what you said, Mallory. I think that you and your narrative of certain things have hurt way more people than Mallory has ever hurt, that Smash has ever hurt. And that's just my opinion.
I've apologized to people. I've made amends. I've talked to them behind the scenes.
Number one, I don't know why you're raising your voice at me. I'm having a simple conversation with you and letting you know how I've been feeling, but what I've been seeing, especially with the message that I'm trying to push for people to receive for the betterment of what is occurring.
I'm not raising my voice at you. I'm explaining to you that I have taken the time to have conversations with people, and you are making accusations.
I'm not making accusations. I'm letting you know my perception of what I perceived of things that I've seen. That is what I'm doing right now. Accusations would be me accusing you of doing harmful things outside of the situations in which I just highlighted for you. I'm not accusing you of doing other things. I'm just telling you how I perceive your lives and how they make me feel as an outsider who has never had any interaction with you prior to the day I tried to get a box in your life, when you refused to acknowledge what Megan did, but then started to deflect the conversation onto everybody else because Megan was your friend. And in my opinion, you shouldn't have spoken on it at all if you weren't going to actually speak about the harmful topic at hand and veer off to somebody else, because that was harmful.
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Is the wind too loud?
No. I think you're pushing through it. I hear a little blah, 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 but that's it.
Okay. I don't think you and I have ever had a conversation. But I just wanted to jump up here real quick. Number one, because I'm nosy. That's why I came in Amanda K's, because I'm so bored right now. But anyway, thank you for letting me come up Amanda K. But
that's why we're here.
But is it Roberta? Roberta. I don't think Mallory is yelling. I don't think she's yelling. She just gets very passionate, and Mallory's been raked over the coals on this app. Really, not by you. I don't even know y'all's situation. None of my business. But and I know I read in the comments that Amanda's opened it up for grievances and stuff. And God knows if people see me over here, they're gonna come running, because y'all know a lot of people are cussing me out over here. But Mallory is not yelling. She just.
I just want to let you know, Mikey, that if I was not able to stream at work, or if it was a problem at all whatsoever, do you think I would be doing it, knowing that there are people like you out there just waiting for the opportunity to call?
Mikey, don't worry. I own the company. I allow her to stream. It's fine.
Told you. Call my boss. Like, this is exactly why you can't be here, dude. Because the moment that somebody bucks up to you and says, nope, I'm not going to allow that here, this is the shit you do.
She does get a little passionate, and let's just try, not just you, because I don't I don't think you and I have any problems. You might be like one of the few, but
Yeah, I don't know you like that.
I got it, Leslie.
but yeah, Mallory's not yelling. Amanda Kay, how are you?
I'm here. I'm all right.
You know, that's the only thing we can do. I want to tell you,
And listen, I don't have any problems with Leslie, but I feel like Leslie kind of came up to calm the conversation and kind of like take it in a different direction, when in reality, we should have just kept talking through it and, just let it happen. I know sometimes people are uncomfortable when conversations get a little bit heated, but in reality, that's most of the time what people need is to just continue talking through it. And I don't think that Leslie did it maliciously or anything like that, but in all reality, we needed to just get through this.
take some pictures while I'm down here. That's really one of the reasons I came up here. What do you know about Frisco?
Not much. Just
And
that I have the best street tacos.
Nope. Frisco, in Hatteras Island, in Buxton,
Oh,
North Carolina.
I have no idea.
So I'm going to the museum down here this week. Down here is where originally, like the Virginia Dare came, and Pocahontas and John Smith and all that and everything. They actually have the Lost Colony, a big theatrical play down here and everything. And I'm actually down on the island where I can't say all the tribes' names and stuff, but like Buxton and Frisco and things like that. And I thought about you while I was down here, and I said, I've been down here since I was a kid, and I'm gonna actually do some videos and stuff for you, Amanda Kay, this week.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you would really enjoy it. And like I said, it's just, they've got names, and I'll shoot you a list, but they've got names that I can't even like pronounce. But anyway, let's just show some love, and let's just.
Well, the reason I'm up here is because I did ask for permission to kind of speak to Mallory and tell her, because I have said some things that I'm not happy about publicly, and I'm a person who likes to say it to a person. I don't like to do the talk shit behind your back and not say to your face type shit. And when I say something to somebody, it's not just because I want to call them out. I'm saying it because it's like, hey, I'm seeing this, and like maybe look back at it and see it yourself kind of deal, so that like maybe things could change for you. Maybe things could move into a different direction for you. I'm not coming up here and attacking her, nor am I trying
Oh
to.
no, I didn't take it as that. And
Okay,
your little person in the comments.
When I said that she didn't have to raise her voice with me, I didn't say she was yelling, but her voice started to get high up there. And when
Girl, she was yelling. She was
yelling.
yelling. It's okay to say that.
Yeah,
But
they
I
were
didn't.
just, just talking between themselves, because I've opened up boxes for, for grievances. If anybody
Oh, for
has,
fuck's sakes, let me drop for the car. Let me just go about my merry way.
if anybody has one with me or whatever,
Respectful down there.
and
There's
always,
some people being disrespectful down in the comments because Leslie was up.
I
I
saw
wouldn't
that.
want to.
Well, the problem is when you start to
Let's
do
be
this live,
respectful.
like you've done, Roberta, now everybody's coming at me in the comments that doesn't like me. So
I don't agree with
do
that.
get a
I
little
don't agree with that.
passionate.
Again,
You don't agree
I
with
totally
that?
control me. With people coming for you, no.
You don't agree with that. There's definitely been people in the comments making rude
Well,
comments.
don't worry about the comments.
No,
Mallory.
but what I'm
Just
saying,
bring them up.
Mallory, is I don't agree with people coming at you in the comments. Not that I don't agree with, you're very defensive.
I'm
Please
not
stop.
very defensive, but I'm trying.
You are very defensive. And this seems to be a common occurrence, that when you're in other spaces and people try to have conversations with you in places that you can't control the narrative, you get like this. You can't handle the comments. It sends you into a literal spiral, because you cannot handle people having different opinions about you. Now, if Roberta were to go over to your live where you can control the narrative, then you, as soon as you don't like something she has to say, would drop her from a box and then talk about her for 5 to 7 business days. That is how this has gone for years. So to say I only like to have conversations on the back end, which she's getting there, is crazy, because that's how you control everything. That is a form of control and manipulation.
To say that this is part of the problem. People can't have conversations without people being in the comments attacking a certain person.
And I'm sorry you're being attacked. Guys, there's no reason to attack her right now, because that does nothing. That does the exact opposite of what the whole...
I'm done.
Oh, where'd you go, Kendra? Did you want a box, Kendra? Sorry, I tried to let you up.
This is fucking ridiculous.
You started playing it again, so I didn't want to interrupt you. because technically I can say what I want to, wherever. But it's just like, here's the big thing: when somebody is handed everything and not made to put forth effort.
Where'd you go?
Oh, somebody tried to call me. My bad. I don't know why. I don't talk to people on the phone. Anyways, when somebody's handed like pretty much everything in life, and they surround themselves with people who don't have the energy to argue with people like Mallory, this is what happens. They don't understand how anybody could have a difference of opinion from hers. She's never been made to put forth the effort to try to have a conversation and see why she has hurt somebody, but she is the quickest person to come to you and say, well, you hurt me. One, Roberta didn't owe you a question to ask if you wanted to have a conversation or not. You had done something that obviously bothered her. Therefore, as an adult, she can come to you and say, hey, this bothered me. It is a very big red flag that at almost 40 years old, you cannot sit there and be like, okay, let me realize I done something wrong and I need to take accountability for it. Let me have a calm, peaceful conversation and everything will be okay. Roberta was not mean to her. Roberta was not disrespectful. Roberta did not yell at her. And that can show everyone that she acted like last night whenever I would tell my 5-year-old she can't have a donut for breakfast. And that's all I want to say. Thank you, and I hope you have a good day.
No, literally. Like, that's literally what my house sounds like when Amari gets told he can't have an Oreo. This is what it sounds like.
That's because literally you just sat here and accused that person. I'm trying to say that this is rude comments.
Don't worry about the comments.
With people coming for you, no.
You don't, not very defensive, but I'm trying to say that this is part of the problem. People can't have conversations without people being in the comments attacking a certain person.
And I'm sorry you're being attacked, guys. There's no reason to attack her right now because that does nothing. That does the exact opposite of what the whole.
I'm done. This is fucking ridiculous because literally you just sat here and accused me of shit that I literally
don't do that. I was
no,
so proud of you.
Roberta,
Okay, then I'll just go back and talk
No.
This is crazy.
She didn't accuse you of anything. She didn't accuse you of anything, Mallory.
But she did because she sits here and says that I'm a hypocrite and I do this stuff.
Okay, now wait for it. Here comes the grand finale. Everybody get their snacks.
But the problem is, it's literally like you're sitting here. The one person that I have a problem with is Smashley. Because yes, she has sat here and she has told people that their traumas don't exist. Okay. I will fucking talk about that shit because a lot of people are hurt by her. A lot of people.
But when does it stop serving your peace to put yourself in situations where you're watching these lives that nobody even mentioned your name, and then you bring up certain situations in the middle of a hellfire war and expect people who have been hurt by you not to feel some type of way about it? That is what I'm saying to you. Nobody is accusing you of anything. I am allowed, as a human being, as a free walking human being, to have a perception of somebody's lives that they put publicly on the internet for people to watch, an audience, so to speak. I am allowed, when I watch a reality show, to like Tim and not like Jim. Okay, I'm allowed to do that. And my thing is, I came up here because I have spoken about you before, because you did rub me the wrong way when you let certain individuals in your box and not me that night. And it did bother me.
I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who you were.
You had just had a conversation with Nikki about me 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to that. In your life.
Did I?
You did, yes.
About what?
Nikki told you Bob's good people.
Okay, really.
Bob,
okay, but your name is Roberta. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. That's fair enough.
I didn't know who you were. I didn't know if you were coming up to just start trouble or not.
It wasn't to start trouble. Listen, when I tell somebody something, it's not a place. It's not me being vindictive. It's not me being harmful. Girl, I don't know you like that to have any beef with you that I'm trying to be out here and accusing you of things or making you upset. That's not my goal here. My goal is to kind of speak for people who are feeling some types of way about you and maybe try to make it from a kinder perspective, someone who isn't coming from the passion of the feelings that they feel just like you, and try to be the reasonable individual to be like, hey, this is kind of why people are getting upset. So maybe you could look at it and be like, you know what? I may do that. You know what? You gave me an example. I did do that in that live. You're right.
I think the problem is, though, is you came up here from the beginning and you took what I said out of context, though, too. It wasn't a generalized statement. It was literally seeing a lot of people on this app. It's not just me. There are a lot of people, and I have acknowledged on my own lives that I have to do better, and I'm working on it. I acknowledge all of the time that I am not perfect.
I take people's word with intention. So when somebody says something, I take it that they said the words that they said.
intentionally, and that's how I should perceive them. And in the comments, you very much so did say the problem with taking accountability doesn't work because people always bring it up pretty verbatim to what you stated, and that you didn't generalize to yourself. You said it as a blanket statement. When you make those blanket statements, I take it.
It was two comments. It wasn't just one. It was two comments, and I followed it up by saying, because then it becomes a situation where some people get chased around, and every time somebody can, they try to throw it in their face. So if somebody new enters the picture, all of a sudden it's, hey, here's this 2 years worth of drama, and I have to hear about 2 years ago what I did as a mistake. Right. And that's the point, is a lot of times people don't want the resolution because they want to keep the drama going. I'm not saying everybody.
The chat needs to chill out, okay? If we're going to do this, the chat needs to chill out. Okay?
This is why I don't like doing this on live, because literally,
I don't look at the chat.
It doesn't matter if you do or not. I'm me.
Okay, but I'm just saying, for this conversation, for the betterment of the situation, and for your own feelings, because I have to do it for mine, I just stare off into the yonder. And
I don't pay attention. That's you. That's not everyone.
Okay, that's fine. Mallory, I came up here to tell you that when you compare situations to only yours, and other people have different feelings of those situations because their perspective was different, it's why things haven't changed. Because when something happens, you go, well, I can talk about that because remember when they did this to me, and other people have a different perception of how those things went down. So for them, they're going, wait, she really did it. Like, it's still the same.
No,
I'm just letting you know. And if you don't like that, then I apologize. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. I'm the type of person where I would want somebody to come to me and I would want to self-reflect and be like, you know what, maybe I do that. Because there have been times people said some hateful shit about me, and I actually have taken it in and go, you know what? You're right. I did that. I should probably stop doing that. And I can only speak for myself. But that was my issue with you. And if you don't understand why, then I can't make you understand why. I did try to do it in the kindest way possible. I think you're very busy trying to, it feels like you're very dedicated to not understanding me.
It feels like you're making assumptions.
I'm telling you how I feel.
No, you are. You're making assumptions that I'm not listening to you, number one, but you're also making assumptions.
Assumptions that I'm making assumptions when I'm really just telling you how I feel.
No, you literally just told me that I'm not taking it into account. You just made the accusation that I'm not taking it into account.
That is your behaviors. Everything I'm saying, you're coming back at me with. Every time I say something, you're very defensive. Your tone.
I'm having a conversation. Okay, well, I can't have a conversation then because evidently I'm just a piece of fucking shit. Thank you.
No,
nobody said that. Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
Like, that right there was the biggest manipulative. I can't even get my words together. The biggest manipulation. Yes. Well, everybody hates me, and I guess I'll just go to my room. Like, that was crazy.
She was not saying you're a piece of shit.
I'm so sorry. I literally just was hoping that she would see things from my angle and maybe understand a little better. But
I don't understand why she was getting so defensive at every question that was being asked or everything that you were saying. Hey, Ollie Mae, how are you, girl?
Hi, can I derail real quick? I'm so sorry. Also, I promise I washed my ass so I don't stink today. So I went on to Sunshine's account, okay, and spread love, and I reported the videos. They're coming back, no violations. But you can also report, and you should report the profiles in itself. Report it one for sharing information, and then report it again for cyberbullying. It gives you that. You have to hit other. If everybody does that and enough reports get in, hopefully, if the bitch don't want to take down the kids on either profiles, all the profiles, then their accounts they can start all over. If anybody wants to do that, just saying. But first, go to all the video
information. Actually,
yeah, I went to all the videos. I mean, I went all the way down to where. Like 2025, 24, and reported all the misinformation or the sharing informations and reported.
NJ, did you want a box?
It for that. And then I went back and reported the profile in itself for sharing information.
Well, thanks so much for telling us that.
Yeah, thank you, Holly Mae.
Holly Mae, I have a grievance with you.
Okay.
You were in Michigan and you didn't come see me.
Said, okay.
You've never talked to me, but you're in Michigan.
I was on a mission. I didn't tell I told people about the races, but I just kept it at I was going to the races.
Yes. How did you love it here?
You guys can cook. And so friends.
Yes.
Oh my God. We made friends. Didn't know nobody, but made friends.
I love that.
Yes, they were
But I'm Scorpio girl and I'm one of the mods, and I was like, I've seen her in Michigan. I just wanted to say that. I really don't have a grievance with you. That was it.
All right, well,
That's how the grievance should go.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's probably people that got grievances with me, and I'm for it. Call me out. Just make sure you got.
That's what I've been opening my boxes for. If anybody has a beef with me or a grievance with me, tell me.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yep. All I ask is just bring proof, because everyone that knows me knows I'm gonna say, show that shit. As I would if I'm gonna call you out. But
Yeah, if you guys could go and report the page or the videos and pages of everyone and anyone who has information, jobs, houses, addresses, phone numbers, children, all of that. You got to do the videos and then do the profile as well. All right.
Definitely. Thanks for that.
TikTok legal. That helps too.
I'm sorry, Reds.
Yeah. TikTok legal. It's a hit or miss with them, in my opinion. But if anybody has a way to actually get their eyes to open, I'm not gonna lie. I reached out to quite a few people. I reached out to everybody I reached out to before, like off the app. I see all these Hulu people and everything are going on and opening their eyes. Well, I'm gonna expose the fuck out of TikTok because this ain't right. And how they're finding no violations on stuff is like,
Probably me.
yeah.
I just wanted to say I do have one sort of with you, but I can't really. They say because you're the host, it's really the host's problems, and I'm not going to fault you for it, but it took place in your live.
Oh, go ahead.
I took a box in your live that day to let you know and give you information about Anthony.
Wait, what day?
When
That big live happened just recently?
yeah, just
oh,
a
okay.
couple days ago. Yeah, when I jumped up and was telling you about how he's still active at night and all that stuff, and I was dropped, and a certain person spoke about something
What is
like
that?
years ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on a lot of, and I'm not excusing it, but that's the issue. A lot of people are they got feelings, whether they're hurt feelings, pissed off feelings, or just don't like each other feelings because of something we said or did. I mean, we're all guilty of saying or doing, and we're all guilty of feeling, and you know what I'm saying? I just hope that you guys, that
But
everybody,
you and all of us in these boxes, like we've been saying, it's not going to stop and it's not going to settle until people talk it out.
right? But all of us are individuals, and him, you know what I'm saying? We all process shit differently, respond differently. All of it. I hope everybody gets on the same page of wanting to, for real, I'm gonna brush the bullshit. I'll catch you next Wednesday. Hopefully everybody can get on that instead of being, here's how I look at it. And this is just my opinion. Half of the people are too focused on villainizing one person they don't like, whether it be from this side to that side, whoever, but half of the people have it in their head to villainize someone. The other half of the people are like, if shit's not going back and forth, then we ain't got content.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everybody gets to the point where, hey, if I got a serious grievance with you that I really can't get over, to fucking report, go to a page that I see you're talking about and report to get a child off, then hopefully the grievances could for real be, handled. People also got to understand it's going to be messy. It's going to be hurtful. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be hard to listen to, hard to see, all of that. But let's not attack or target the hosts of these lives that are opening boxes to settle grievances just because they opened their boxes and allowed it to be on their platform.
I agree. And I just, like I was saying, I just wanted to come up at that point in time and give you the information that you was asking for about that individual. And that's all I was doing.
Yeah, no, to me, I don't think you were wrong for coming up to tell about that individual. But I'm also going to say that a lot of people, and you included, you probably have pent up feelings against somebody, like seriously, more than just that. You know what I'm saying? People that talked about you, people that said shit about you in chats. Honestly, all honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've learned at this point, I'm letting it go. It does not bother me. Yeah, I mean, I can let it go with a lot of people, but obviously there's one person that I just can't, Like some people I could be like, hey, it is what it is. I can't fault you for where you were, what you were doing, or what you said. But somebody, because mine's only with one, I just can't let it go. You will not see me in a box. You have not seen me in a box. I don't care what the live is about. I can sit in the chat and be a good little girl, sit on my hands until they're purple. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get over that until I lay my hands on her ass. I'm just gonna be honest. But I'm also not gonna derail a live because of my issue, But again, we're all different. We all handle shit differently. I hope that didn't, deter you from wanting to continue jumping in boxes regardless who's hosting or regardless whose people are in there or regardless of whatever,
No, as long as I'm welcomed, I'm still gonna stand with everybody on the issue. I'm gonna do it. It's what's right. As a mother, it's what's right.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Listen, I'm going in spaces that I'm like, listen, they might beat me up virtually, but hey, I'm coming in. All right, I'm jumping down. I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Okay. Smashley, you're an hour late and you're still not here. All right, did somebody send me Mallory's live? No, I don't think I got it yet.
If you didn't get it yet, I can send it to you.
You're gonna send it on Snap.
Yes, I'll send it on Snap.
Thank you. Already got it.
Okay, that's $5.50 of my time. So $5.50.
Oh my gosh. And I have to pay off all the credit card debt?
Correct.
I'm gonna need you guys to start gifting. Oh, now Smash wants to show up. Now she wants to show up. My God. Wait, what does it say? Oh, I don't care about that. Oh, you forgot to set your alarm. Lord have mercy. Okay, well, we've just kind of done a recap.
Already invited her.
Okay.
She probably won't accept. She never does.
All right.
That's all of us from last night.
What is it?
Except not me. See my profile, my picture? I said that's everyone from last night, except not me. Ah, it's too big.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Oh, chat's moving too fast. Hey.
It said, what time did you go to bed last night? Me, early. Why? So see how we look? Okay, bye. I mean, quiet.
Passenger Princess, are you requesting a box? Oh, somebody let you up. Hope you're paying attention. Hello?
Now the ride's strapped in. You got to stay up here. Hi, Andy Bobandy. Get her.
Okay. Oh yeah, Smash does pee in the shower, by the way, guys. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. So much going on at once. Well, I haven't seen that. Is it on Netflix?
I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but don't you remember in the news that lady showed up at a hospital saying she had a baby, but there was no evidence that she had a baby?
Yes. Is it on Netflix?
Yes, it's very shocking.
I canceled my Netflix.
Kendra said everybody's a bunch of shower urinators. She said a bunch of shower urinators were friends with this one. Not me, Kendra. Not me.
Shit. You guys crack me up. Alright, so we're gonna go to Mallory's live now. But I'm gonna go ahead and say what I wanted to say since Smash is here.
Malibu would like a box, but I can't let her up because I don't see her.
Gotcha.
Hi.
Hey.
Since I've gotten multiple messages that Mikey, you want to know about my job, I'm off today for my birthday, so I'm not at work commenting in the comments in this live. So I do not pee in the shower, Kendra. So Mikey, stop with the threatening of people's jobs. Why are you doing this?
I am at work, actually.
Right, but I got some messages that he is
Oh yeah, he's coming for a
asking
couple
about.
people right now. I've gotten a bunch of messages too.
Yeah.
Listen, he's windmilling over there, or he was. He got discontinued unless he's on a different account. But he was talking about Virgo, about me, about Kendra, about Bree. Like he was just going through the whole list.
He's angry because he got removed from the space. This is my issue. You want to be here in this space, but then you go over to your live and you talk shit about us. You don't get to be here anymore.
No. Like, it's crazy. Kendra.
I can't see.
We can't hear you, Kendra.
You're on mute, bitch. She knows.
You're on mute. Oh, she knows. Right, Bree? What did I do? I said one thing, and it wasn't even about him. Kendra, we really like to hear you.
Bear. Why is she so cute? I don't know.
She's laughing at me because I stopped mid-sentence to answer her question. Okay, I just wanted to make it known, Mikey. I'm off today because I just got back from my trip and it's part of my birthday weekend. So please stop it with people threatening people. But okay. I'm gonna drop so I can lay in my bed on my day off. Okay, bye. Love y'all. Hey, Ranger, love you.
Oh,
Goodbye, Malibu.
you gagged a little.
Whoops, I said Malibu. I meant Malibu.
Okay, so here is my take on everything. I feel like during the time, does anybody know a date that all this stuff started happening with Smash and like her kids and family being posted and contacted? Do we know when that started? Anybody in the comments have any idea? Listen, starting today, I'm going to buy a notebook, a spiral notebook, and I'm going to keep track of everything, like every big thing that happens day by day, so that whenever people want to know things like that, I could just go back in my little handy dandy notebook and look. So
Man said October.
Okay, October. Perfect. No, whiteboard doesn't last. We need a notebook. I've been accused of keeping a burn book, so we're just gonna keep a little notebook of all the things. Hey, Kendra.
My phone messed up and I couldn't hear shit. Why am I in trouble? What did I do?
You're just in here.
Am I not allowed to go where I want to?
Apparently not.
I mean, last time I checked, I'm almost 25 years old. I work damn near every day. I raise my baby. I do what I need to do. I pay my stuff. Why am I in trouble? I ain't even said nothing to the man. I don't even like men necessarily, so I try to avoid them.
Yeah.
I just don't know why I got mentioned. Is it because I said something about the crybaby? Probably. Yeah. You know what? Whatever.
I think he's just Kendra. I think he's just upset, like Virgo said, because she blocked him or whatever she did, and now he's butthurt about it.
It could be that my frontal lobe is almost formed, and that's why. They know I'm going to be unstoppable whenever that happens. I'm going to be a genius.
It's almost party time.
Yep. We go about... Actually, it's almost July, so a little less than 2 months.
That's exciting. Yep. We are throwing a frontal lobe party when it happens.
I'm going to make a meme. I'm making a cake.
Marilyn, listen. I like you. Don't you ruin my dream. Don't you ruin my dream. Everybody's told me 25. And I'm gonna keep saying 25. I don't care if it peaks at 30. It's gonna peak at 25 and I will be unstoppable. Okay? Bye.
Bye. You guys crack me up. Oh my goodness.
Oops, sorry, I got dropped.
Yeah, I thought you were going to make a meme.
No.
Okay. back to my my speech. Okay, so all this stuff started happening with Smash and her family being, schools being contacted and things like that. That started back in October. So, there was a question asked, what did I do to deserve this? And then somebody made a post of where Smash shared someone's personal private information in January. Like, oh, you think it was January, February? Okay. Well, I believe that during all of that time is right in the middle of when all of this was happening. And I'm not saying that it's right or that it's okay that it happened, but it did happen. And Smash was very open and honest about how she felt about it, right? I do truly hope that Smash has learned a huge lesson from this, right? Not to trust any of these troll accounts that don't have people's, and that's no like shade to any of you, but like we don't know who you are. You could all be Shannon. You could all be Sunshine. Like, we don't know, right? Unless you're getting in a box and speaking with your voice, or we truly don't know. And even then, we don't, right? I think that trusting people here on TikTok is a risky game to play. And I just hope that a lesson was learned through all of this. Yeah, same, Brie. There are very few people on TikTok who I actually trust. I believe that we as individuals can all do our part, right? We can all go and report these videos and these accounts that are doing this stuff. But in all reality, I don't believe we need to come together to do that. And I won't be participating in that. I'm not coming together with people who spew hate and, just do all these terrible things. I'm not coming together with you to accomplish anything. That might make me a bad person to some people, but it is what it is. I'm not coming together with none of you. So I'm going to continue to do what I can do. I'm going to continue to encourage my people to do what they can do. But other than that, the windmilling and the lives and talking about, right, exactly, Brie. Talking about how people aren't willing to come together. You're right. I'm not coming together and holding hands with racists. I'm not coming together and holding hands with people who want to take money out of my pockets by harming my business. I'm not coming together and holding hands with people who want to call my job and want to do all these things. And not just me, but people I care about, right? I'm not coming together with people who want to focus in on every little thing that Smash has said and done, but can't take a look at the people at their own table who have also messaged and been in contact with this person, even after Smash outed it, right? We all make mistakes on this app, and there were definitely some things that Smash missed that, again, I hope that she learned from that. I truly think that Smash owes some apologies here. And that's a conversation that I wanted to have with Smash before this live, but I wasn't able to because we know she was snoozing, and that's okay. We'll have that conversation. But I truly do think she owes some apologies. And it might be hard. It might burn. Those apologies might burn. But in the long run, it needs to happen. Because I know that Smash is a good person. People might not, see her in the way that I see her. But I genuinely think that Smash lost a lot of her care when her family was attacked. And it kind of feels like ever since then, she's just been catching every ball that comes at her, like a catcher. throwing fastballs, and Smash is just trying to catch every single one that comes at her. And at some point, you're going to miss one of those balls, or two, or three. And I have understanding for that, and I can give grace where I believe grace is due. Not everyone is going to believe that Smash deserves some grace, and that's okay. I think she'll be all right without your support. And if you believe that I don't deserve your support as well, I'll be fine too. I've seen some people in the last couple of weeks or whatever say they're going to unfollow me or do whatever. Like, I've gained over 300 followers in the last 2 weeks. I think dropping a few here and there, I'll be fine. I'll be fine if I lose everybody. I'm still going to keep it pushing, right? But I do truly appreciate all the people. Like, I had like 20 messages yesterday of you guys, can you go live and stream? And, you know, we were at the pool yesterday, so it wasn't really possible yesterday, but anytime that I can, I absolutely will. There is no one on this internet who's going to be able to come here and tell me I'm a bad parent, or that my house is dirty, when we know what their house truly looks like. Like, all of the things that's been said about me in the last couple of weeks has just been complete manipulation and an attempt to tear me down and make me look a certain way. And I'm grateful that you all have seen through it, and also just, you know, continue to hang out with me, because it does mean a lot to me. It truly does. But I'm going to continue doing this because I watch this shit anyway. So, you know, what does it matter if I turn live on and I let you guys listen with me, right? So that's my stance on it. I don't want to talk about this P3DO shit anymore unless some new information comes to light, right? If I find out this dude is actively talking to children on the app, well, then we're going to talk about it. But other than that, I think that no more attention should be given to this person, nor should others, but, you know, I can't control them. I do think that that it will continue to be talked about for a little while until it just stopped giving it any attention. And then hopefully it'll... Actually, not hopefully. Unfortunately, they'll move on to the next person that they're going to target and hone in on. And other than that, that's really all I have to say about it. So, go ahead, Hazel.
I was waiting patiently for you. Okay. Hello, everybody. So I just want to give a little spiel, because I haven't really spoke on this. I really don't try. I try to just speak on the back end because I don't need to air out shit publicly for a show. Listen, as mods, we don't agree with everything Smash does at all. Trust me, you should. It's we have a mod chat, and you should see. We call her out, and people think that we let her slide with everything. That's not true. But we're not going to hate her because she makes mistakes. She is human. We're all human. Listen, I have made mistakes on this app. A lot. I'm sure Virgo's made mistakes on this app.
100%.
You know, it's, and I've known Virgo a long time. She blocked me once, way back when. Yes. But even Malibu, like if I see something, I'll call Malibu and I'll vent to Malibu. Like, you know, it's what do you want her to do in the end? What is the end goal to all of this? What are we trying to achieve?
Right.
Smash is a human being. If you want to follow her, block her, do it. Like, it's not that serious. It's a fucking app. It's an app. Stop, and I'm not going to give him views. I'm not going to participate in that.
Right.
So I'm just not. Like, it's not worth the energy anymore. Listen, sometimes things are not worth a reaction.
Hazel, can you tell Ranger she's not perfect?
Ranger,
You
listen,
can't bring it. Listen,
you should see what I text her.
it doesn't count if If Virgo has to bring it up, that's just
Oh
jealousy.
my
It doesn't count.
god. Wow.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Listen, Smash don't ask permission. She does things, and we're just sitting in the back like, oh shit. All right, well, here we go. Yeah. But that's my spiel. I'm getting back to work. Sorry, but I will see y'all later. I'll be listening in the comments.
Thanks, Hazel.
Bye, Hazel. Bye.
Yeah, Pasta. I don't think that Smash should apologize unless she truly means it. I'm not asking her to do that on my behalf. I'm asking her to take a look at on the inside, and if she feels like she should, then I think she should. But I never want someone to apologize if it's not genuine. But, truly, I think she owes some apologies. And that's something that her and I will have to talk about, and I'll just give her my perspective on it, and then she can take her time to process it and do what she feels like she needs to do. Someone was like, I think I missed something. I don't think you did. I just feel like, not everything was handled perfectly. And I think that, there, even though that Smash was in a position where she was just kind of like, fuck everyone on this app, fuck kids, whatever, whenever she said all that, even though she was in that position, now in retrospect, looking back, I feel like she can kind of see things for what they were, even if that, I feel like when we have conversations about like, oh, you did this, and then it goes back to, well, you did this, and we could do that forever. Even if Smash did something that somebody else did back to them, I still think it's okay for her to apologize for her part in it. And then maybe that'll allow other people to take a second and look at what they've done, and maybe they can in turn give an apology also. So...
And I also think too, like in life, you have to get to a point where, yeah, you have apologized. Maybe they've accepted it. Maybe they haven't. But you got to just gather up your stuff and move along. Because not everybody's going to accept your apology. And some will accept it and it's not sincere. And like, you can't continue trying to prove yourself to people that don't want your apology in the first place.
Yes. I agree. 100%. Okay, so that's really all I had to say. I'm going to go ahead and play Mallory's live from yesterday if nobody else has anything they'd like to add to the conversation.
Can you make me big for a minute so Kendra can see her brain?
Sure.
This is Kendra's brain. The frontal cortex is highly exaggerated.
Oh,
it's her birthday cake, actually.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's too big. What the hell? Why are the pictures going so weird?
Here, hold on
Maybe
one second.
The way
Let me fix it. Yeah, hold on.
All right. Bye, Jen Red.
Bye.
Nope, it's still too big.
Yeah.
It's fine. You get it. It's the brain. It's her frontal cortex is really big, and there's her birthday party hat.
Oh, that's a little better.
Yeah, not much. Blame it on Goobers. See, Kendra likes it. She thinks it's adorable. Yeah, I'll send it.
Oh, yeah. Iowa Ranger actually made me pants for my moon. Can you show that?
Yeah, hold on a second.
I don't like you guys looking at my crack.
You want me to show the bathing suit one or the
That's
pants?
fine, yeah. Either one.
Okay, hold on. Turn this save. Look, there she is in her bathing suit just floating along. She's got her flip-flops on. Whoa! That was a close-up.
Cracks me up.
Look at your nails.
Yeah.
All right. Give me this one.
Okay. All right.
here we go. All right, I've got about an hour and 15 minutes. So this live is 2 hours. We're going to try to skip a little bit of the beginning.
Traded, so there's a couple things I want to say, but nothing bad.
Nothing bad.
I'm okay. I can't complain. Even if I could, what good would it do? Hi, everybody. I think that, hey, Bria, how are you? I think that one of the things I wanted to come on.
I did play that, but I don't think they were going back and forth. Pearlie just kind of said what she had to say, and Holly Mae was like, yeah, I kind of can't control other people. You know, it wasn't like a argument or anything like that.
And say is that if people are going to start doing these lives where you can address people and the problems that you have with them, you need to make sure that they're going to be consenting, number one, to having that conversation in front of everybody. But number two,
I want you guys to really pay attention to the verbiage being used in this live. Consenting is crazy.
That you aren't coming at them and making accusations when you misunderstood what the person was saying from the beginning, because in all honesty, like, I'm not here to start shit, but what happened at Amanda's wasn't okay. And it wasn't okay because, number one, I was not asked if I was willing to have the conversation. Asking Amanda if you can have the conversation, but not asking me was very insulting. And I felt like that needed to be said, because in the future, I think that people's boundaries need to be respected a little bit more in terms of that. I'm okay. I just kind of wanted to address a few things because I did want to clarify. So what I was being accused of saying was not what was being said. And if it didn't come out clearly, then I apologize to Bob. I have blocked Bob and asked her to please not come into my spaces because I didn't appreciate the way that she handled the situation, or that she asked Amanda for the conversation. But and that's my thing. I didn't appreciate that, she asked, hey, can I have a conversation? And then it instantly turned to me, because if she'd have asked me, I would have asked her to respect that I would have preferred to have had that conversation behind the scenes because of what ended up happening in the comments. But also, you guys know that there are people who just wait for shit like that to clip and try to make me look like the bad person in it. I did say the other day, like, congratulations.
First of all, back end conversation is you manipulating in your own way. Second of all, nobody's waiting for that kind of shit to make you look like a bad person. You do that all by yourself.
To the people who kind of wouldn't leave me alone because you've turned me into a monster at this point, I'm not going to apologize for being upset that somebody took what I was saying wrong and made accusations to me in front of a bunch of people without asking to clarify what was meant. Because what was meant was, and what I was trying to say in the comments was, when people take accountability for the things that they've done and they've messed up on, there are still people, and I say people because I'm not going to individually name everybody, but there are people who will not allow that person to live it down. They follow them from live to live to live to live. And anytime you try to make new friends, anytime you have friends, they're in their inboxes, they're in the lives, they're trying to dig up everything in your past so that you don't have anybody. That was the meaning of the comment. The comment was not about you sitting on a live and expressing how somebody has made you feel. I have absolutely talked about a couple things where Smash has made me feel or made me look a type of way. The things that I have addressed in the last week, though, have been Smashley saying that she's never doxed anybody. I said she doxed Rissa. I didn't pull up the proof of it or anything like that. You believe what you want to believe. Number two, I have addressed that Smash absolutely fucking played clips to make it look like I laughed on a child's essay, and I expressed I hoped people would understand that's not me. To me, that is not dragging somebody. That is, number one, stating a fact, of which she's clearly still not taking accountability for. And number two, expressing how I would hope that people are starting to see that that is not who I actually am. And to the people who were in the comments attacking, and yes, it was attacking. You know you were being disrespectful. Most of you were blocked from here. There's a reason you're blocked from here. It's because you have a very narrow, small mind, and you can't actually accept that human beings are complex. The other thing that I want to address is I'm going to need for people to start considering that communication styles vary across the board. I am so fucking sick and tired of hearing people tell me how I am because of how I communicate with people. If you don't know what it's like to have ADHD and you're getting overwhelmed because you weren't even given a chance or an opportunity to say if you wanted to have that conversation in public or private, you don't get to judge somebody when they're trying to literally think and process and talk at the same time so that you can understand where they were coming from.
Again.
Because it absolutely did feel like an attack at Amanda's, because the context of the comment was not what it was presented in the box. And I need for people to understand that, because I'm not going to sit back and sit on my hands and pretend like I owe anybody shit anymore. I have watched people degrade.
Again, just because other people don't make ADHD their entire personality doesn't mean that they don't have it or struggle with it.
Not just me on this app. I know how it feels to sit back and watch people not give a shit when things are said about you. And I know how it feels to have one person in particular lie so much about you that people believe every single negative thing they hear. Most of the people who want to come at me and tell me about myself have never taken the time to reach out to me and have a private conversation with me. And I will not apologize for being blunt. I will not apologize for respecting my space enough to tell you that if you're being disrespectful, you don't get to come in here. What I am going to say, though, is a lot of people need to start respecting people a little bit more in terms of understanding that you might not actually know them based on what you're seeing. And honest to God, people on this app need to open their fucking mind into asking what somebody is saying before making assumptions. Because what I was accused of saying was not what was being said. And when I tried to explain what was being said, I was labeled defensive and unwilling to listen. And that's not fair. It's not fair. Because I am very open to conversations. I am very open to listening. I am very open to hearing.
Sorry to tell you, life's not fair. Life's not fair. It's never fair. Sorry to tell everyone. Sorry, keep on.
No, sorry, I was swallowing. And like, you are not open to conversation. You're open to speaking at people, but you are not open to back and forth conversation. No, ma'am, you're not.
You asked someone else if you could have a conversation with me. You didn't ask me if I was willing to do it on live or if I would have preferred it behind the scenes. And I am so fucking sick and tired of being told what my motives are behind something. Don't tell me that I'm not allowed to talk about how somebody made me feel when they literally brought it up 2 days ago. Telling me not to talk about spaces I'm not brought up in. Smash talks about me all the fucking time. The fuck are we talking about here? Like, I genuinely want to know. Like, when...
I can promise you that it is very rare that Smash brings you up unless she's responding to something that you said. And just like Ranger said last night, I think I heard this. Maybe I was sleeping. Did you say
you heard it?
Said Smash's name 36 times?
38 times in her live.
8 times in her live.
Last night. That one you're listening to.
Right. That's wild. Hey, B.
Hi, Virgo. Hi, Ranger. So, Mallory is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, she is saying that people don't know who she is. Is that correct? Like, she's saying they don't know who she is and they're trying to tell her about herself?
No, she's saying people don't understand the way that she responds to people and her tone are because of her ADHD. And that's why she typically likes to have conversations on the back end, because people like tear apart how she responds to people.
Okay. I got confused in what she was saying. She was kind of, and to me, she was like all over the place.
Yeah.
But like how people perceive you online, you can't say like that you're not being defensive and you're not, responding in the way. If that's how people see you online and that's their perception of you, they're not wrong. Their perception and their opinion is based on what they see you online. That's all they have. Like, we don't see people offline in real life. So how we see you online and our perception and opinion of you is everything. That's all we have.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, but I would never want to have a behind the scenes conversation with Mallory. Never.
Right.
And that is my feeling based on how I see her online. Like, it's not hard to understand. I don't get it, Mallory.
Mallory's conversations behind the scenes typically consist of her sending you 3 to 5 paragraphs and then blocking you before you can respond.
That's how I pictured it going too.
Literally.
Exactly how I pictured it going.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have a great day. Thank you for letting me up.
Thanks, B.
And I just have one more thing. I have one more thing to say. This is for everyone. If you truly don't care about a subject or you want to portray you don't care about it, don't talk about it all the time. Because even if you're saying the words, I don't care about this, I don't watch this, I don't even, like, you know what I mean? But you're constantly talking about it, that indicates you're actually very much invested and you do actually care a lot.
Right. Absolutely. Also, you can't tell somebody that they're wrong. She was trying to tell Bob how wrong she was, but Bob was explaining the way that Mallory made her feel. You can't be wrong about the way someone made you feel. That's not a fact, or you know what I mean? There's nothing to be wrong about.
I don't know. Yeah, she brings me up all the fucking time. So I just feel like if people would take a step back and recognize that even the best people with good intentions still make mistakes, this world would be a lot fucking easier. And y'all need to realize that when you start attacking somebody and labeling them something, that usually does kind of make them get something like defensive. But when somebody is trying to explain to you what you were trying to say, and they're wrong about it, and you try to explain to them what you were trying to say, and they won't listen, that is a problem. And that's largely the issue on this app anymore, is people make assumptions without actually getting to know the person. And I'm really disappointed, because if I had been approached and that conversation had been had in private, it would have gone way better. It would have gone a lot better. They're not. And, you know, Smash likes to say as content creators, we're held to a higher standard, but I disagree. I think everybody needs to be held to the same standard at this point. Because that's becoming an issue too, expecting some people to be better than other people.
Why? Because you don't like being held to a higher standard? Is that why? Like, what do you mean? That's weird.
Is making a lot of, it's setting people up for failure. When you expect the people going live to be perfect or better than other people, you're literally setting yourself and them up for failure, because you're taking the fact that people are human out of it. And that's part of the problem. That's part of why it's weird when people follow people around and try to make sure nobody wants them around them.
Okay, so if you think that everyone should be held to a higher standard, why are you not publicly calling me out, right? Because I just started going live recently again and having people in here. So why am I not being held to the same standard that Smash is? Because I missed all of the signs, the lives, all the things. I missed all of that. The same as Smash. I didn't understand fully what we were dealing with until the day Smash brought it out. I even listened to Spilled on the FYP's live, I listened to MJ's live, all of that, and still didn't put it together until Smash came live with it. So why am I not being held to why are you not going live and holding marathon lives about me if we should all be held to the same standard?
Well, it's a good thing that some people understand excuses versus explanations, elephant in the room, but you can get in a box. Because you're clearly not listening to what's being said. You're doing the opposite and you're making assumptions.
Exactly.
Which is exactly the point of the conversation, in that when you make assumptions about people rather than understanding what's being said, you are a part of the problem. So why don't you get in a box and have a conversation right now? Or would you prefer to have it behind the scenes? That's the thing. And when people are listening to understand, but still have to participate in the conversation, people forget that. Like, you can listen to respond, but still listen to understand, but still be able to explain your side of things. Just because somebody is coming at you and telling you, here's what I see this as, it doesn't make it the truth. That's the other problem with listening, is not countering with excuses. No, Bob was very rude. Bob didn't ask me if I wanted to have the conversation. But Bob also did not understand what was being said and did not ask for the clarification of it. So whether or not she meant to be rude, she still made assumptions that needed explanation. And that's the point. But do you see what you're doing where you're making me the problem because I tried to explain the meaning behind my comment?
First of all, not ice. Was not eating ice. You know those like adult Lunchables that have like the salami and the cheese and the little crostini? That's what it was. Super crunchy. Super loud. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, this is Mallory's Live from last night. Hey G-Unit, Talia. How you doing, buddy? Make sure that you guys are all tapping the screen. Send this out to your bestie on TikTok. Send your daily heart me's, collect your coins, do all the little things that help the live keep going. And let's keep going.
And how it was being taken out of context, and you're making it about me being the problem? Because that's part of the problem with this app. Is that rather than understanding both sides, you're trying to reinforce that one side is better than another. Nobody's saying anything about being a victim. That's you. But again, are you understanding that a conversation is two ways?
Thank you, guys.
Or are you trying to imply that when someone comes and tells you something, you're not allowed to respond back in that conversation?
Oh my God.
Because what you're doing right now is you're invalidating one side of a conversation while saying the other side matters more. Because despite what you think, I was listening to Bob, but I'm also entitled.
Just going to be real quick and say that for her saying that I'm insinuating one side is better than the other, she is the one who constantly says, I've done some fucked up shit on this app. I've changed. So in accordance to that comment, that is why I said what I said, because there isn't changed behavior. It's quite literally the same. I think people forget the time that like I popped into this side. Mallory was a hot topic for that time frame, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I never got myself involved. But I'm seeing the exact same behaviors. So I don't understand how I could have veered off to one side or the other when it's her words stating that she did these things and that she changed. I don't hear anybody else saying that. I don't hear anybody else saying, I did some fucked up shit. I changed. I'm not the same person I used to be.
Right.
And not having those same change or having changed behaviors. I don't know. I just want to preface on that because I didn't hear this part. I listened to like maybe collectively 30 minutes. My head started pounding. I was getting so frustrated.
I bet. No, this is exhausting. And
2 hours, 2 motherfucking hours, 2 hours. And don't you know when she realized it was 2 hours, she's like, I thought it was only an hour, bitch. No, we knew it was 2 hours. Matter of fact, I had to make sure it wasn't 3.
Yeah.
But sorry. Thank you.
You're good. It's crazy. Like, we had a whole seminar on ADHD. Like, we did not need that girl. Because most of us over here are diagnosed ADHD.
To be able to explain when my comments are being taken out of context and misunderstood. So again, are you saying that some people are less important in a conversation than others? I didn't claim victim. And I didn't cry. But here's the problem. You yet again are making assumptions. And you're belittling other people's feelings in the process of it and saying that their feelings aren't as important. You're actually proving my point right now. You're literally validating what I'm saying. You're making it sound as if my feelings and my input in the conversation wasn't important because of who was saying it.
Same smash.
What you're doing right here, right now, is exactly what happens when people invalidate people to make another person look better or to make that person look worse. You're not trying to reach a resolution. You're not trying to have a conversation. You're trying to be accusatory and attacking because you want to make people out to be a certain thing.
I'm actually surprised we can listen to this on 1.5.
But you can't tell people that they should be able to have conversations and then get mad when that person is trying to explain you took what I was saying out of context. And to be quite honest, for the last 2 years, I've heard enough about myself from other people that I know no matter how much I try to do better or be better, people are still going to have a problem with me because of what I was saying, which was from the beginning, there are some people on this app that when you take accountability, they use that against you to go from friend group to friend group or people that you're attempting to associate with to make them dislike you so that you are not welcome in other spaces. Again, elephant in the room, you're not telling the truth. And I think you want me to be a victim so that you can make fun of me for trying to be a victim. I'm not a victim. I'm standing on who I am right now. Exactly. And I have changed. And that's your problem for not being able to see it. But what I will tell you is that you're not going to come in here and tell me that I haven't. Because you don't get to define me when you don't even want to actually be willing to acknowledge that you're making accusations that aren't true. But yet again, it's another point to the topic. And you're proving my point in that you're coming in here saying, well, you haven't changed. You don't want to see the work people are putting into the things. You don't want to see that they're changing. You don't want to see, you want to make accusations and you want to make judgments so that you can go around and continue to belittle them even more. Pink Tiara, if you have to ask, then you clearly haven't been around. Or you're just attempting to get an audio clip. If this were the old times, like if me 2 years ago would have come on here and screamed and yelled and called people fucking stupid, I'm here to say that you don't get to define me. That's it. Like, if you want to have a conversation with me, give me the benefit of the doubt. Don't go to Amanda and say, hey, can I have a conversation, and not ask me. It's disrespectful. I was not given a chance to say, I would like to talk to you behind the scenes. And I think that was very, very disrespectful out the gate, because anybody who knows me knows that I like to have these types of personal conversations behind the scenes. Because not only can I take the pressure out of having everybody in the comments just tell me what a piece of shit I am. She didn't ask me to speak to her. She literally asked Amanda if she could speak. She never said, Amanda, I want to have a conversation with Mallory. She said, Amanda, can I have a conversation on your platform? She did not ask me if I wanted to have a conversation.
Oh my God.
And that's part of the problem, because I would have 100% respected it and asked that it be had off the app. I was already in the box, elephant in the room. She joined the box and was the one to start it. No, it's okay.
You could have dropped at any time.
I'm just saying, if you want to have a conversation with me, I do that off the app all the time with people. I've made amends with people. I've had really productive conversations. But what I don't like doing is doing it on the app where people start coming at me in the comments like they were, knowing that there's someone just sitting behind the screen about to like fucking burst from the excitement of, oh, we're going to clip this to make you look like shit. The point is, she didn't have to have the conversation in the box. I would have rather had it in private, and I would have rather been able to have the option, not just, hey, let's go do this. Not true, elephant in the room. But you don't get to define where I have conversations and where I don't. Especially like the comments where people get so mad that I just don't want them in my space. And then they're like, prove it. And I'm like, I'm not going to prove it. You disrespected me. I don't want you in my space. If you don't want to be in here, why are you so mad about that? I love that elephant in the room is literally trying to comb for like audio clips, and I can't wait to see how they try to clip this to be some. You know what though, elephant in the room, I've done this enough. The second I ask to go private, it becomes a problem, because then everybody wants to make fun of me. It's kind of like a no-win situation at that point. She should have been respectful and asked me if I wanted to have the conversation public or private. She had the respect to ask Amanda if she could have a conversation. She didn't have the respect to ask me if I would have a conversation. No, it's not an excuse, elephant in the room. It's called respecting people. Respect is a two-way street. I mean, even still, it's just called being respectful. Like, if you want to have a conversation with me, don't ask Amanda, ask me. No, and that's the thing. Elephant in the room is one of the people who feels entitled to see everything play out. And they literally are they're continuing to prove the point, which is that there are people on this app who do not want to see people do better. And when I asked for Bob to provide an example, Smashley, who has taken no accountability for any of the hurt that she's caused, was not the person to bring up. Because I have absolutely talked about some of the lies that she's put on me and how I hope people know that's not true now. But don't come and tell me not to talk about Smashley because my name's not brought up there when Smash brings my name up all the time. So again, don't try to tell me, especially when that's not even what the comment I made was about, how I'm supposed to do things like that. She doesn't. She doesn't. And I hate that people have to wonder if she gave their information out or not. Well, to be honest though, Kelsey, I'm not deflecting. They just can't accept that other people have feelings. But like that's the thing though, is I literally heard Smash say something about me like a day or two ago.
Bandit, did
she
you
does
want a
bring me
box,
up all the
babe?
time. And thank you, Yummy. And
Sorry,
I
I'm
respect
working,
Bob.
not
I
paying
respect
attention
Bob
to
from the
comments
distance.
at
I would
all.
appreciate her not being in my space right now.
Yes. Okay. Can you guys let her up, please?
But what I don't appreciate is when I make a comment, it being taken out of context and not asked.
Hi. Hey. So I just wanted to say that like anybody who knows Bob, I've known her for like what, like going on like 3 years or something. She would never do anything to purposely make you uncomfortable. So had she have just, hey, I'm uncomfortable, like let's have this in private, she would have just like, okay, no problem. That's all she had to say. But then to also blame that on ADHD is wild.
Yeah.
Especially since she has called people into boxes in her lives to have conversations. It feels like she was just upset that it wasn't like in her territory. And then to talk on the fact of the like the higher standard comment. I don't think content creators are so much like expected to be on a higher standard, but you do have to be cognizant of the fact that people are watching you, people are listening to you, and you are setting the like the precedence of what you want around you and what you support. So you are being an example, and that's what people are looking at.
I agree. 100%.
But that was it. That was all I wanted to say. Stop blaming everything on your ADHD, Mallory, and find some tools to work through the traits. All right. Thank you so much.
Ranger. You know you're
Listen, don't. I'm just sitting down here minding my business, changing memes. That's all I'm doing.
you're canceled, right? We can't see it down there in your teeny tiny little box.
Look at that one. That one says off app otter.
Otter. Oh my god.
I just taken all the words she's saying and making little memes.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, where'd you go? Brittany and Frank the Pug. If a creator can't take a little bit of banter back and forth and a little poking, this isn't the app for them. They really, I mean, we all get made fun of and picked at, and you know what I mean? So none of this has poked fun at anything, about, you know what I'm saying. This is all silly little jokes. If she can't handle that, then I don't know what the fuck to tell her.
These are just little cartoons. That's all. I'm not doing anything mean.
Listen, I'm gonna pull Mallory with this one. You know, Mallory gets made fun of, quote unquote. Have you seen any of the stuff Mallory has done while she's been on this app? Did you know that Mallory outed me getting cheated on her live, all because it was just me and it wasn't brought to the app? She had just got that little tidbit from somebody that I thought was a friend. So it's weird. It's so weird that you want to come over here and act like she's innocent and has not done worse things than we have for literally trolling her for the crap she's done to us and our friends. Okay? She acted like a whole toddler who was told no because Roberta tried to have a upstanding, respectful conversation with the woman and then just said in her life, well, they don't care about how they make others feel. That's what Roberta was trying to talk to you about.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. You didn't say that, but I mean, I'm just saying. If it's not okay for us to sit here and troll on her, then how is it okay for anything that she's done? You know?
Right.
We ain't sitting over here outing her at-home bull crap. We ain't sitting here going at her day in and day out. Quite frankly, we've left her alone for a good while. She inserted herself in this.
Really have.
So, quite frankly, this is why Mallory gets treated the way she does, because she inserts herself to hate bond. Just saying. I'm just saying, you can't act like the poor woman is just a damsel in distress and that everything's against her and the whole world's against her, because it's not the truth. It's not. Okay?
Right.
That's just not. It's not realistic.
And I also don't think that it's an excuse for her to act the way she acts because she gets trolled and poked at. I don't think that's a good enough excuse for her to do the things she does.
If I could at least explain the context of it so that you're coming at me for the right thing at least. Because then it becomes a difficult conversation to have when people start telling you that you're being this, that, or the third, and people don't want to understand the actuality of a situation. And I apologize to Amanda and said I was sorry for earlier, but there gets to be a point in time where the disrespect is so loud that you either continue to accept it or you learn to just fucking step back when it happens. And I dropped from Amanda's box after saying that because I was getting frustrated with the comments. I was getting frustrated with the fact that I'm trying to have this conversation and I'm being told that the way I talk is XYZ when I really don't think people understand what happens when people with ADHD have conversations, but keep going, elephant in the room. You're still proving my point. They hear what they want to hear. They don't hear the actuality of it. And that's why people like elephant in the room are the problem. Because they want it to be what they want it to be so that they can continue to make certain people the problem. Right? Honestly, it's kind of fun to watch them continue to prove the point. Because again, I want people to understand that the entire comment that was made in Amanda's live was not about people going live and discussing their feelings. It was when people go into a live. So if I were to go into Claw's live, and I've never been in Claw's live before, and so say I went into Claw's live, I've never been in there before, and I get up in a box. Instantaneously, usually, there's about 5 to 10 accounts that are going to pop in there, and this person does this person does that, this person does this. I have participated in that in the past, and I've learned to not do that. I'll 100% come on my live and share my thoughts and opinions on things, but I'm not going to follow people around this fucking app and try to make everyone in the world fucking hate them. If Shannon's live talking to somebody and I think they should know, absolutely, I might say something in my live, but I'm not going to go into Shannon's live and fucking tell people like, oh, hey, this is who she is. I like that quote. And I think that's the point people are missing is, do y'all know before a certain someone and I fell out, Thug Nurse was in her inbox sending her a bunch of stuff shit-talking me for the better part of 3 months? Trying to get them to turn against me. I know it because they told me about it. Like, I know how Thug Nurse was talking a bunch of shit on me in multiple people's inboxes that are friends with me. That's the behavior I was talking about. It's the constant need to try to isolate people on this app and make sure they have nobody. It's the telling people they can't be in your space because they're quote-unquote Florida man's people. Nobody belongs to anybody. We're all individuals. We've all made mistakes. We all have had to grow from them. Some people accept accountability and try to do better and be better and will continuously be made out to be the villain. Some people will be given chances, and some people don't ever have to take it because they don't get held to the same standard. But you can't make people take accountability for the things Florida Man did. You missed about 2 or 3 whole months where Florida Man said it's fuck Mallory forever, then elephant in the room. How can you comment on situations when you clearly don't understand them to the totality of things? You missed a whole chapter where I was defending OG because she definitely didn't do what he was accusing her of. Katie, I don't see anything. So you clearly missed some things in the process, so I definitely was not sitting with him when he got locked up. He did. Last year, he reached out to me, and probably one of the few apologies on this app where I have felt that he really someone really, really reflected on a lot of the shit. Doesn't mean I support him. Doesn't mean I was sitting with him. Elephant in the room. Right? Like, they clearly missed, like, the last 3 or 4 months where literally he made memes and said it was fuck Mallory forever. And that invalidates everything else you've said up to this point, by the way, because you literally just showed you clearly aren't around enough to understand situations. I don't know, KT. It didn't send anything on my end. Maybe TikTok's notifications have been weird lately. Like, it'll try to get you to sign up for, like, I think the themed matches when you're in comments and stuff. It's weird. Yeah. Honestly, this app has been wonky for a couple months now. Right? Honey, elephant in the room. You're giving a certain person. And I'm loving this for you because it's very much showing that you clearly are trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, so to say. When Florida Man got locked up, I was still defending OG over Farrah. You must have missed a lot of chapters. Now, Shannon was sitting with him. Remember how Shannon got up and was like defending him 2 days before he got locked up? Shannon was defending him hard. She really wanted to be in that circle, but then he got arrested, and then all of a sudden it was ha bitches. She flipped up fast. She was like a fucking pancake. She was like, flip. Yeah, she tried to kind of get by him within the last 2 days, and we were all laughing because we're like, literally, he had said on live before that she's like not gonna be okay with him ever. But it's just really funny to me that clearly you haven't been watching everything and you think you know it and you don't. Also, I'm not elephant in the room. Honey bunches, I would recommend that you go back because you're accusing me of something that I didn't do. And it's fun watching you kind of prove the point over and
That's
over
your
again.
printer.
Because you still haven't gotten what you want. I mean, you've got an audio you'll clip and try to use to make me look a type of way, but
Nelson,
the people
I'm
who have done that, I've
blocking
actually
you.
started to get people reaching out to me apologizing for ever listening to those people because it's clear that they've got some mental health
Literally.
issues that they probably need to address.
Dude, all the honey bunches, the sweetie, all that shit is so like gross and condescending. I cannot stand it.
No, I just don't take accountability for things I didn't do. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Because when Florida Man got locked up, I was not around him. Kind of like when, you came in here and you wanted to make accusations where you clearly didn't know the situation at the start. So, I know you're trying to think of something else to say to try to keep it going. You can stand on what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong and still not be somebody's person. You do know that, right? Hey, Ash, how are you? You do know that you can speak facts or truth even when you don't like a person or you don't agree with that person, right? The inability to recognize people as themselves and the complexities of people's feelings and emotions and overall opinions is actually a very narrow-minded view of when you look at life. Because what you're saying is that the sum of a person is the totality of the people in which they speak up for, defend, sit with, all of those things. But that would mean that everybody who's ever sat around Florida Man then would be a Florida Man person. And that's what you're missing in everything that you're saying. You're actually coming off very narrow-minded because you're trying to fit complex people into small, tiny boxes. And you want to fit them into the small, tiny boxes because you want to pass judgments on them and make them appear certain ways. I mean, I invited them to a box and they won't come up here. That's the problem with this app, though, is that people want to force complex emotions, complex interactions. Human beings are not simple. Human beings are not similar. We're all different. We're all complex. We all have different ways of communicating. And that's one of the things when I used to work in more of like management positions, one of the things I loved was the hiring process, because you meet all of these people and you learn how differently everybody communicates with each other. And you learn about yourself in that process too. I know that I'm fucking blunt. I know that I can interrupt people because, like, if you don't know what it's like to have ADHD, if that thought comes in your mind and you don't get it out in 2 seconds, you're probably going to forget it. So yeah, a lot of people interrupt people with ADHD. Actually, I did pull some things that I thought were interesting. I'm afraid to forget. Again, elephant in the room, you're minimizing people's complexities and the situations of right and wrong. But you are, again, proving how narrow-minded you are and that you lack the empathy to understand that people do bad shit, but that doesn't define them. And I'm big enough to admit I'm fucking guilty of making judgments like that, just like I did with Ratina. I should have just left it alone and not gone after her. these are just some fun facts with ADHD, since people don't want to understand how people with ADHD communicate and would prefer to make fun of them rather than understand. So ADHD affects the ability to modulate emotional expression in real time. You can come across as too intense, too flat, or emotionally mismatched with the situation without realizing it. Reading the tone of others is equally hard. A neutral comment can be read as cold, a direct one can be read as aggressive. The miscommunication happens on both ends, and it is rarely what either person intended. The ADHD brain processes at a pace that speech cannot match. Thoughts arrive in clusters, jump between connections, and move on before the mouth has finished the previous sentence. What comes out is often a fragment of what was meant. The person on the other end gets part of the point and all of the confusion. You know exactly what you meant, it just did not arrive that way. The thought arrives, and the ADHD brain knows it will disappear if it's not said immediately. So it gets said mid-sentence over someone else. It's not rudeness, it is impulsivity combined with working memory failure. The person being interrupted rarely sees it that way, which creates its own friction. I really think I should do a live on misconceptions of how people with ADHD communicate and are perceived in life. Because the number of times that I've had issues with people because they don't understand
Mallory.
That there are times, like, I say it all the time, sometimes, like...
Mallory. Please fucking don't. Okay? I don't need you to tell me anything about ADHD. Okay?
My thoughts are moving so fast, like, it's not even easy to catch them coming out of your mouth before they do.
Whoa! What's happening?
Whoa, Poe. What happened?
Sorry, something was playing on my Snapchat and I didn't know what it was. I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a message from somebody.
Right, Kaz?
Let me go back.
What that just did was explain how you can misunderstand somebody with ADHD. So again, you're being accusatory and you're making assumptions, but you're not actually listening. Remember when you said something about listening to hear and listening to respond? That was literally an explanation of ADHD, right? Right, Kaz? It also, the number of people who invalidate neurodivergent people because they don't want to accept that people who are neurodivergent have different tendencies in life is actually wild. Does anybody remember when there was that whole thing where people would make fun of every little thing I did? And it's like an ADHD thing? Like, people love to say that I'm so condescending in my tone. Bitch, when I am having a conversation with you and I'm emotional or I'm genuinely into the conversation, controlling my tone is the last thing I'm doing.
Okay. So, I know a lot of you don't know this lore. This is from last night, Nelson. But the first time that I ever had an interaction with Mallory was when I was still doing anti-scam / awareness. And it was surrounding the scammy Grammy lady Velvet. Not Velvet. God damn it. Her name is Violet, and I called her Velvet. Jesus Christ. Her name is also Violet. Not to be confused with Velvet Violet. Okay? Here we go. Jesus. Anyway, my friend Sam was going to do this big awareness live on Violet, and Mallory had just kind of come to the awareness side, and she was basically planning on streaming Sam's live. And at that point, streaming was like not a thing that people did, right? Everyone went to people's lives and they showed support. So when she said that she was planning on doing a watch party, I went to her and was like, yeah, that's not cool. Like, if you want to show your support, just bring you and all your people to Sam's live. Because we turned gifts off. Like, it was not, it was just the way we did things back then. It's not the same culture or, like, whatever now. But no one was streaming back then. So it kind of came as like a sign of disrespect. And when I tried to tell her that, she told me that I was insensitive to neurodivergent people because the people in her chat felt safe with her, and that she was creating a safe space for them to watch this live, right? And she drug me for weeks about how insensitive I was to neurodivergent people. She kept saying this over and over and over. And I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch, right? I had no idea who she was, right? This was right off the heels of her Lauren the Mortician stuff and all of that, okay? So she hyper focuses on one thing. First of all, how the fuck am I supposed to know that you and all your followers are neurodivergent, right? I didn't bring that up. I just said that it was disrespectful for you to take viewers away from my friend who's been planning and working hard on this live. So, anyway, she ran with this narrative that I was insensitive and all this stuff. Mind you, I have neurospicy kids, right? I'm neurospicy, if we're including ADHD in that. So, you know, it didn't make any sense to me. And forever, I have been told about my tone, how I come off as, you know, cold and condescending and monotone, etc., etc., just because I don't allow people to get me all riled up, right? So now she's flipping it and saying, oh, that's because my tone comes off as condescending because of X, Y, and Z. Well, why wasn't the same grace given to me when you were saying the same things about me back then, you know? And now that she's flipping this to, you know, say that she's the victim because people say X, Y, and Z, it's just so crazy to me. J-Mac, did you want a box, babe?
It's not always coming out the way it's meant to come out. That's the fucking point. It's why so many people with ADHD literally either have to have a conversation off live or get so overwhelmed that their thoughts get so scattered that they come off a type of way when they're trying to have a conversation with people. That's why I would have preferred that conversation have been had off the internet with Bob. And that's why I would have respected it a lot more if she had given me that opportunity. Because if you don't have typical conversations with someone who is neurodivergent, you do not understand how hard it can be when you are becoming overwhelmed. And those types of conversations, I have become very much more aware of how I handle them in situations. And I can get defensive because I start to feel overwhelmed and I feel like I'm not getting my point across. It has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with how I'm feeling in that moment and how I feel like I am trying to express myself, but everything I'm doing is wrong.
She makes me hair colors too, dude. Same.
I wasn't frustrated at Bob. I was frustrated at myself because I'm trying to explain something and I'm literally trying to process how to explain it at the same time. And then I know I come off like an asshole because I'll say something when someone else is mid-sentence, but if I don't get it out, I'm going to fucking forget it. And half the time, you don't even realize you're interrupting somebody until you're halfway through your sentence. Roberta. That's the fucking problem with people on this app.
Dude, why does she only let her dog drink water when she's live? I just want to know. You can tell the dog is fucking parched until she hits that go live button. She's like, go ahead, you can get a drink. You know? Why?
Everybody has different communication styles. If you don't understand how frustrating it is to be in a conversation with somebody and be frustrated with yourself in that conversation because what you want to say is not how it's coming out, you have no idea how lucky you are if you don't understand that feeling. And then when you get in conversations with people who are more long-winded and they take more time to say things, it's exceptionally hard because they're 3 sentences in and you're still trying to address the first sentence.
No, it definitely wasn't your fault.
And that's how you're proving my point in the comments, Elephant. You're proving the point that you don't actually care about both sides of a conversation. You want to make the accusations because you don't want to understand the other side. To you, it's not about an actual productive conversation. It's about trying to make another person look wrong when I wasn't frustrated with Bob at all in that, I was frustrated with myself.
Oh,
And
she wasn't
respect
frustrated
that
with you,
enough.
Bob. Just
And you know
herself.
what's really fucking sad is the number of people that'll make fun of it and not care.
Oh,
and the number of
God.
people that'll twist it.
Twist it.
Which, by the way, I know people like get along with that peace account, but they are one of the biggest shit stirrers. And they do it in such a way that they don't look like they're stirring shit, but they go into the comments and they love to like poke at people. And it's really fucking weird to me how much they try to start shit.
Right.
By
Were you so much not upset with Bob that you blocked her? Is that what that is? You were so upset with yourself that you blocked Bob.
like they're not trying to
That makes sense.
Hey, Mother's Cow. Like, I was cackling yesterday because I kept saying something in somebody's chat and they would keep commenting back with like responses and I never responded back to them, which seemed to only make them do it more.
The laugh.
I was like, at what point do you just leave me alone? Like, at what point do you just stop and recognize that you're not going to get a response? It was so funny. Like, a couple of the mods and I were laughing about it privately because I was like, the more they went on, the more I was like, they really want a response. But Peace, I will not be, I didn't snap all the comments and I will not be reflecting on them because honest to God, your opinion to me doesn't matter because you have been one of the people who has said some pretty nasty things on me. So you're also blocked from my space. So if you don't like me, don't watch me. It's my recommendation. Or, watch me complain. I don't care.
Peace catching strays everywhere.
And I tell you what, people wanted to break me, but I don't think they realize they just made me more determined to get people to understand how disgusting people on this app can be. And I think a lot more people need to start opening their eyes to the intentions behind the conversations, because you can sit here and you can say every conversation is the same, but they're not. There are people who have conversations because they genuinely want to express their feelings about situations. There are people who have conversations because they want to get to the bottom of something and understand the why or the how or the who or the what. And then there are people who want to have conversations simply because they have a humiliation kink and they like humiliating other people. And it's really sad.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for explaining, like with the ADHD and everything, pretty much perfectly. Because there's been a lot of things on this app about me having ADHD or taking, my medication and stuff like that, calling me a crackhead or whatever else, whatever. I have anxiety, I have depression, I have everything, so I take that medicine too, so fault me for that. But the part that got me was not being able to explain your feelings correctly to where you get so overwhelmed. It happens all the time, and it's like tears come out because you can't stop and explain yourself correctly to where then people make fun of you for having tears or being a human and having emotion, right?
It's the frustration of it all. And then once you have those emotions, people who want to say you're a narcissist.
Yeah, bro. She said that people have... Let's go back.
And it's like a tear gleeful.
You get to the bottom of something and understand the why or the how or the who or the what. And then there are people who want to have conversations simply because they have a humiliation kink and they like humiliating other people.
Humiliation.
And it's really sad.
Kink.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for explaining like the ADHD and everything pretty much perfectly. Because there's been a lot of things on this app about me having ADHD or taking, my medication and stuff like that, calling me a crackhead or whatever else, whatever. I have anxiety, I have depression, I have everything, so I take that medicine too, so fault me for that. But the part that got me was not being able to explain your feelings correctly to where you get so overwhelmed. It happens all the time, and it's like tears come out because you can't stop and explain yourself correctly to where then people make fun of you for having tears or being a human and having emotion, right?
It's the frustration of it all. And then once you have those emotions, people who want to say you're a narcissist want to make fun of you for...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't a humiliation kink the opposite? Like, don't you get off from being humiliated?
I believe so, yeah.
And Mallory, I have ADHD. Don't group me in with you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because you're not talking about yourself, you're talking about ADHD as a whole, and you're not my therapist and you're not my doctor, so shh.
Well, and remember the generalized statements we were talking about in the last live,
Here we are again. Generalized.
But she doesn't do that, guys.
I don't make ADHD my entire personality. So
it's the thing with Mallory. She picks something and makes it her whole life. Oh, I have ADHD. It's my whole entire identity.
Wild.
Alright, anyways, bye, Mallory. Maybe you look up definitions before you say words. That's not what a humiliation kink is.
Yeah.
Having the emotions.
Exactly. And I just wanted to thank you for, you literally explained it so well. I was like, oh my God, like, hello. Yes, but I agree with you completely. I don't think a lot of people do understand that we have a million things in our head 24/7. If we don't stop and say what we need to say, it's gone. And then being attacked and not being able to put your words fully together to prove the point that you're trying to prove is frustrating.
Yes.
And it can come out in tears. It can come out in yelling. It can come out in an attitude or whatever way. I mean, mine is if I can't explain something completely or people aren't letting me get out what I need to get out, then that's whenever like the tears will build up. And it's not like I'm sad. Yes. It's more that like I'm so aggravated that everybody is coming after me or anybody else that it's overwhelming. And then on top of that, it's like, for me personally, I can't lay hands on you on the internet. I can't be there to be like, just shut the fuck up, like, like get in your face type stuff. So it's the frustration of it all that brings out the tears. And the overstimulation exactly is what gets us. And I think more people need to understand it, but it's not for everybody to understand. But anybody that takes medication for their diagnosis for anxiety or depression or ADHD or anything else like that, they're not addicts. We're not addicts. It's something to try and calm our brain down. If you are taking it and you don't have the diagnosis and you are abusing the medication, that's a different thing. I have to go to the doctor every 30 days. I go to the doctor literally every 30 days to get my medication.
Girl,
and they test it and everything else like that. So call me an addict, whatever, but I guess we need to talk to my doctor.
I'm gonna refill my Adderall in 2 months because I keep forgetting to make the message to my therapist.
I don't know how you're functioning because I'm in bed.
That's what my therapist said when they finally diagnosed me.
I'm just in bed. I'm in bed. I'm laying there, immobile, not wanting to talk to anybody or anything else like that. I want everybody to go away. Like I don't want to deal with anything. So
the other side of it too is a lot of people don't know how hard like it can be just to like engage with people because you know that you could mess something up and then you're just afraid to talk to people in general because you know that not everybody understands you and the conversations you want to have don't get had and then it becomes a problem because people think you're not communicating when the actuality of it is you're afraid to communicate because you don't want to make things worse.
Exactly. You don't want to say something that is not how you truly feel, but it comes out the wrong way. And then you have to explain yourself 500 times and it gets exhausting. I mean, I turned 37 this year. I don't want, like, I've been dealing with this my whole entire life. Like, that's what a lot of people don't, this isn't just a all of a sudden type thing for any of us. So we know how we function and if there is a fight or something like that, I would rather ignore it.
Listen, Linda.
And just not be.
I have it, a pretty severe form of it, and I don't take meds. Like I have one medication I've taken, not for ADHD, for something else that I've been on since my early 20s. But I work at self. Like I'm a big believer in just daily working on myself, grounding, like all that kind of stuff. And I don't even think about my ADHD. I don't think about it. Like if I like right now and currently, like I'm not thinking about, oh, I've got to like get this thought out or I'm going to lose it. And I'm not hyper focused on my mentals, man. Like I literally don't live my life dwelling on my mentals and thinking about it. Like I try to be self-aware. Don't overtalk people. Don't interrupt. Wait your turn. Those kind of things like self-reflection. I don't make my mentals my life.
Right.
Because I really try to not have them define me. Even though I know that they're there. It's not like I'm not aware, but I practice more just daily living and with people and how I interact and like grounding. Like I'm present. I'm what am I, like I just said, am I over talking? Am I letting this person speak before I interrupt them, and those kind of things, just more of a self-awareness. I don't sit there and dwell on what my ADHD is doing or what my other mentals are doing. I just don't. And I don't sit there and like, oh, if I have and I get some people do, but if I don't have my meds, I'm just in bed all day. I get some people need them. I get that. I'm just not one of them that I function better without them. But yeah, it's crazy that she makes this her entire identity and uses it as an excuse, and which is weird because she has no problem talking. Like, I've heard her talk with other people. She has no problem. All the things she's saying, I don't see. She goes, she what it is people clock her with truth. She gets pissed. She acts like a baby and then goes live to hear herself talk on and on and on and on. It's quite the opposite of what she's saying. So yeah, she doesn't we don't all share the same brain, Mallory. We don't. That's just ridiculous. But anyways, I just wanted to say that.
It's crazy. Thanks, Mayor. Okay, I've got about 5 minutes. So
my phone or anything else like that, then come and try and fix it because I feel like I'm just gonna make it worse.
And that's where Elephant Maroon was saying something like, oh, you could have asked her to have the conversation off the app, not by the time it was being addressed, because then you over anticipate, everybody in the comments is going to start to say things about how you can't be an adult and have the conversation online, and they'll, there's no winning in situations like that. Your mind starts to over process it and you try to fix it, and by trying to fix it, you make it worse.
Yep. And I think people need to, it's just, I haven't really been on, right? I come in randomly, I get on randomly just because of what's happened to me and my family on the app. I don't care to try and ruin my livelihood or anything else anymore with these people. They're going to do what they're going to do. I think that there's people on this app that have their mindset that this is who they are. I think that there are the people who are doing this stuff, like going real life, posting kids, everything else. There's no talking to them. They're not going to change. They're set in their ways, and that's a them problem, and it's affecting other people and other people's families and taking it out on others that aren't a part of it, right? Like, don't really have anything to do with it isn't the answer. But I mean, the people who are continuing to do it are basically fighting with themselves, but that everybody else is getting in the crossfire just for supposedly being their friend, whenever nobody knows who's each other's friend on this app really anymore. It changes daily.
Well, I'm telling you what, you think someone's your friend and then I don't know. I have a very, very small circle of people, and it's that way for a reason, and it takes a lot for me to trust somebody. And when I tell you that's the other aspect of it, of why sometimes having conversations on this app is so hard, it's because you know what you see, but you don't know what's happened behind the scenes. You don't know the feelings or the emotions invested in it. You don't, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. And to expect somebody to be able to break it down on the line when they're clearly getting frustrated with themselves and not being able to address something simple,
Nope, I completely agree. But I just wanted to say thank you for explaining it, because you explained it perfectly and put it into perfect words. But I'm gonna drop down. I'm watching the fights right now, so
thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. I think that's a live we need to do, honestly. I think we should do a live in understanding how neurodivergent people communicate, because I think that would help.
I can't take it anymore. I need you to not do that, actually.
Speak for yourself. I'll be there the whole live.
Yeah, I need you to not be the one to do that. Anybody else could do it. Not you, ma'am. Not you. Lord have mercy. Okay. Just trying to catch up on my snaps. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Since you're
Okay,
almost
thanks.
done.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you guys for that. All right. Anybody else have anything to say before I go for the day? Well, I might be back later. I don't know. I guess it just depends what happens. Yeah, they got him, Mayor. It just depends what happens throughout the day. And then if Smash doesn't want to go live tonight, I'll go live later. Late tonight. We'll just kind of figure that out as we go. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.